Hydra are going to inquire about cured victims, trying to figure out the logistics of delivering the cure. Vic expositions Charles about Thrall. Charles is the fanfiction dwarf, by the way.
Important distinction.
Rumble. Horda is approaching, heading to the mines. Mechani might assume position at the entrance to the mines. Vistra is speaking to her father. Yes. Triangulating attack coordinates. Vistra's brother was killed immediately after suddenly reanimating. Zeppi is speaking with authorities. Ordo was interested in Frostbeard family business lineages. Not pedigree. Religious ties. Ordo was looking up worshippers of old gods. Knowles?
Knowles? Query?
No, Knowles? Question mark? Vistra's brother got bitten by a gnoll? That was more of a speculation thing.
I feel like Knowles question mark is a lot of this party's like
Knowles?
stuff in general.
Knowles?
No?
We love you, Fisto.
I love Fisto.
Oh, Fisto, beloved.
Gnolls can be infected by the stone plague, carry the plague, but aren't affected. Break time happened?
Oh yeah.
Then Visca and Chaz are heading to the mines. What did I?
What?
Oh god, the Dwombies are trying to get...
Dwombies!
I was like, what? Party reunites and we go in. Vic calls upon Inogo. Flail. Hold on, what? Flail glows Vic's hearing voices. Inogo tells Vic to kill the infected gnolls. More and more gnolls as the party descends deeper into the mines. Anti-chamber gnolls are fighting. Vic yells to get the attention of gnolls. The party piss bolts in another direction. Vic is ordering gnolls around and then rejoins the party with stealth.
He does. He's like, you guys should go do this thing, and then I was like,
yeah.
I guess.
Further in, temperature drop. I have no idea why I fucking wrote this down.
It has been established why the temperature.
I wrote this in silver gel pen. Vistra arcane checks the code, rolls a 1.
Oh yeah, that sounds about her.
We find a hunched figure in the room. Try to surround him. Glenn trips, makes noise.
Oh,
the figure,
bless.
I need my wizard hat on for this.
The figure looks at us, looks over with wide manic eyes, and that's where my notes ended.
The figure. Oh no.
Session end.
That figure.
That was very thorough. Well done.
Thank you, Name. Thank you. Because your TM doesn't know what the fuck they're up to at this point.
Well, honestly, I wouldn't have had any idea if we didn't take those, so...
I mean, like, your brain is constantly just full of the song Pen, Pineapple, Apple, Pen at this
Oh
point.
god, yes, it is. Help them. Help them.
Fire you! Okay. So, as last we left off, as Name mentioned, if I recall correctly, that all of the party is there, or most except for Vistra and Chaz, who are making their way down.
No Morty.
Not there.
Morty's in the thing, and Heck we don't have with us right now, but Vistra and Chaz are there.
Okay. Shit. I'm gonna have to.
Angry.
That's basically us, yes.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
Angrier.
Yeah, yes. Every time Lee mentions Knowles, Vic's bad day gets worse.
My distress transcends human emotion.
Why did I say we have bread in the fridge? What is wrong with me? Don't answer that question.
No.
Would you like it alphabetical or chronological?
Chronological. We can start with my birth and move on from there.
Very organized. I'm not pre-rolling, I'm gathering all d20s. No.
I was rolling it, should have, like...
Nope, not yet.
See, it's all coming in this one.
Where is Chaz, by the way? Did she catch up or not? I can't remember.
She's apparently making her way downtown.
Walking
with
fast.
Mr. Intel.
Walking fast, seeing Knowles walking faster.
So
If
she's
I
like,
remember when we had the thing with the Knolls that Vic sorted out, Chaz stealthed ahead.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In that scenario, so she is with us, and I'm pretty sure she's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. She stealthed to the midpoint and waited to make sure Vic was okay.
Yeah.
No. Best friends.
and Glenn fucked up his stealth.
Yeah.
Sorry, one mo.
Always wear black.
Oi, bitch! What is happening with this person we're staring at?
Yeah. Are they charging at me while I'm prone or something? What's going on?
What? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
They rolled a 1.
Right. Sorry, forgot.
Too small.
D&D's happening.
Too small.
Okay. So as you guys sort of hold your breath, and Glenn collects himself a little bit, and that's a split second.
Collects
after he's
himself
fallen
from the
over,
floor.
picking up his shattered pieces of dignity now.
Do I actually get up off the floor straight away?
There is a moment where nothing happens, and all the figure does is train his eyes on you. Those of you do recognize his face a bit. However, he seems a lot more gaunt and sickly than you last saw him. Ordo Copperoot is shivering in a heat in front.
I'm not there. Shit. Fuck. Somebody
And
slap
he
him.
just stares at you again.
What the fuck?
Hello?
Hello?
I don't think. Wait, Glenn, did you meet Ordo?
I think I was in the room when you saw
Glenn was a
Ordo
cat.
Oh yeah.
and Vistra's. Okay, so Ordo. I've met Ordo. Ordo hasn't met me.
Hmm.
You hear a bit of surprised wheezing from him before he finally answers.
Wheezing.
You, the adventurers from the temple. What are you doing here?
Fixing your
Well-
mess.
Following your drunk ass.
He,
What they said.
he shakes his head before staring further down the cave. Would you like to follow his gaze, or his follow his gaze?
Not physically,
well.
but with my own eyeballs, I would like to look.
Yes.
Oh,
I'd like a
Chaz is still stealthed as well.
Yep, I'd like you guys to roll perception check for those
Come
trying to
on.
see what you're looking at.
okay. May, I'm sorry.
Wow.
You chose poorly
Wow.
for me.
Oh,
Nice
it was doing so well.
No, it wasn't. I rolled another one.
Oh dear.
Opal is designed
15,
to
by
hurt
the way.
players.
I rolled a 15.
Harsh.
Okay, 15. Could you put in the
7.
chat what you rolled, please?
Mm.
Ha!
Okay. So, Chaz and Vic. The mist that has been slowly accumulating the deeper you went into the caverns are pretty much at their utmost, almost obscuring thickness down here. When you see Ordo glance further down behind him, you notice that there is just a dim light at the very end of what seems to be a long tunnel.
Chaz is going to go to the mouth of the tunnel. No further, just the mouth, and see if she can get a better look.
Okay, sorry, I'm pausing because there is. Are we finito? Are we done?
There is water. I can hear it from up here.
Yeah. Anyway, so Chaz, I want you to make another perception check. While you do, Glenn, while you try to follow Ordo's gaze, unfortunately, you subconsciously started stepping towards the gaze, and you didn't watch where you're going, and you trip over again.
Your gaze
Oh.
trips over.
You may roll a dex to quickly catch yourself and not scrape your knee.
Oh,
No,
Natural
Glenn,
one,
my
natural
love.
one.
I could, but I feel like that wouldn't be in character. I'll take the knee scrape.
The knee, it is scraped, and you mildly regret your decision.
The story of his life.
I'm actually just gonna stay down until something else happens.
This is my life now.
All around me are familiar faces.
Oh, Glenn. Honey.
All right. So what did Chaz get, Cat?
15 again.
Wow, shit, dude.
Yeah, I got 2 13s in a row. What the hell?
Nice.
It's a sign.
Okay. Enough of your movement has disturbed a lot of the fog and mist that it starts to clear up a bit as you go towards the mouth of the tunnel. And you notice for a majority of the stretch of tunnel, it follows the natural sort of texture of the cavern, but at the very end, you notice there is a warm torchlight, and it ends in, excuse me, not burps.
Burp.
It ends in what looks like distant masonry.
Can I check the mouth of the tunnel for like any traps or arcana?
You may certainly make an attempt.
This dice has rolled me 13 3 times in a row.
What?
I think it's a lucky number for you today. Maybe you should make a lotto and get a 13 in there. Make a lotto.
Make a
lotto.
one whole lotto.
Make a lotto. So yeah, that's another 15.
Okay. From what you can tell, there is no traps in the mouth of the tunnel.
All right. She's gonna edge down the tunnel just a little bit more, just to see what she can see.
Okay. I'll let you sort of edge your way slowly. Meanwhile, I'll have back to Vic et al. As you. So just, I guess, out of the corner. Sorry. Is Chaz letting the others know where she is, but still keeping stealth away from what's his fuck's Ordo? No? Okay. So none of y'all know where the fuck Chaz is.
Oh boy.
And Ordo.
I think we're used to that.
Vic can feel the
assuming she's
aura
picking
of
all our
judgment.
pockets.
She is here somewhere. She's somewhere here judging my life choices.
Well, that does sound in character for her.
Alright, so Vic's gonna look at Ordo and just go, did anybody tell you that making deals with old gods to resurrect people who've been dead for longer than the allotted time is stupid?
There is an expression of shame that ghosts across his features before he steels himself and looks back at you. I would have done anything to save her. Anything. It is unfortunate I made a mistake. And I didn't know who I was talking to.
Are there any rocks or anything around where Vic is?
Plenty of various sizes and shapes.
Considering what's happening to your city, I'd say that was a pretty big mistake.
Can Vic pick up one of the rocks and ditch it at his head?
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yes, you may make an attack roll.
It seems to be like Vic's thing in Redthrone. Yeah, pick up rock, throw at people.
Get hit by crossbow bolt.
Well, there's that.
Talk shit, get hit.
Give me a sec, I'm just counting.
Actually, would there be a rock nearby that I can just pick up
19?
while I'm on the ground too?
Yes, you may. How much did you roll, Cade?
I rolled a 19.
19? Okay, so that definitely connects.
I wanted to bean it off the top of his head. Not a big rock, just enough to like get my point across.
That was almost a crit.
He has 1 HP. He dies.
Vic feels no guilt. No shame.
The rock makes an impact, and accordingly, his face crunches up in surprise and pain.
And Vic, while he's throwing the rock, is literally just going to be like, "You dumb fuck! Regrettable is accidentally stubbing your toe in the morning. This is murder."
Genocide? I'd say.
Mostly yes, thank you, Kidra. Mostly genocide.
I cast my magic stone cantrip on the rock and then chuck it to Vic. Try this one out; it'll work better.
Before y'all start continuing on with the rock throwing, the first rock that Vic did throw bounces off Ordo's head. And there is an eerie moment where the rock actually sinks in to where it impacts. And then as if it suddenly it reforms. It bends into his head, and then the head sort of pops it back out.
Is he made of balloon?
Exactly how vampiric or ghoulish are you, good sir?
She is alone, and she thinks she's making friends, and it would not have gotten this bad if I knew who I was talking to in the first place.
Who were you talking to then?
I prayed hard. I thought it was Barona who answered my pleas. I thought it was True Silver. Cat, are you okay?
I stuck myself with a needle.
Oh.
Okay.
His prayer rolled a natural one and fucking missed.
Let's be honest, so did Morty's before.
I tried to pray, but I missed.
Thank you, McCree.
I prayed, but I got the wrong god, so I guess I missed.
So I tried again. So I prayed again, and I missed. And I prayed again, and I missed again.
So I got hungry and I went to prayed to open the refrigerator, but I missed.
Yes.
So, who did answer the prayer then, if you missed horribly with your first projectile prayer?
I don't know, but it was not any of the divine gods that I once believed in, and if they ever existed at all, they surely don't care about what happens to us or her now.
Given what we know about what's been happening with the vampires and everything, can we make a guess as to which god he accidentally woke up?
You may. Yes, you may.
What do I roll? Religion?
Yes.
I'd like to
But
get
he
on that,
missed.
if that's okay.
Well, that was an 8, so I know it was a god.
I
Yay.
got 16 on religion.
Okay.
What did you get?
16.
16.
Okay. Una momento. I'm gonna grab the thing I have written. That's not gonna help me at all. Oh, for fuck's sake. Where did I put it? There we go.
Is the chat in the recording today?
Yes, it is.
Good. God, and the bananas in pajamas one actually matches the song.
Okay. I will copy paste this to you, Tom.
Oh dear.
Did anybody else make a hit religion check? Sorry.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. So.
I don't know shit.
You know it, God. It a God.
It's God, what do you think?
Which God? That God. That one. Not that one. The
God.
other one. Not that one. The other one. Not that one either. The other one.
How many
Which god?
many
The god with the power. What power?
What
The
power?
power of voodoo. Voodoo.
Voodoo?
Voodoo.
do.
You remind me of the god.
Oh God.
Amazing.
Did
Yes.
you actually catch the magic stone that I threw to you?
I don't know. I'll have to roll a dex, I think.
It's no. Well, I'm not trying to throw it.
Yeah,
at
just
you,
roll dex.
so it should
Yeah,
be
just roll
easy
dex to
now.
catch it. Just tell me if you
20,
what did
20 not natural.
you completely
Nice.
missed.
Anyway,
You got that.
just letting you know, for the next minute, if you peg that at someone, it'll do 1d6 plus 3 damage,
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Magic rock.
and be considered a magic attack. So that could be handy.
Oh, that would help.
Oh.
I like it.
Just speaking to Ordo very quickly. All right, what can you tell us that may be remotely helpful right now?
I he seemed very pained to part with any information at this point. She's but a child, but I know when she came back, she stopped. But she's still her.
Oh boy.
How sure can you be of that?
I mean, was she the kind to raise the dead and terrorize people and murder a whole city full of people? In general, when you knew her when she was still alive? I'm asking for a friend.
It shouldn't have turned out like this. It shouldn't.
But it did,
I didn't
and
ask
now
for
we're
this.
dealing with the consequences. And
Oh,
now
no.
you can help us undo all of this. Just tell us what you know.
None of this is her plan. I just know that whoever brought her back is enacting their will through her. And she, bless the child, she thinks she's so young. She was so very young when she died.
Well, at this point, I'm going to get up and start making my way further down the corridor to see what there may be. I don't think he's going to be much more help to us, or at least that's my opinion.
Are you going to try to stop us if we try to stop her?
I don't think anyone can stop her at this point. If I couldn't.
Look, let's be real here. If you couldn't stop her, you also make some terrible fucking decisions.
Look, you're
Even
talking
though,
to a
like-
guy
Fighting
who punched an old god in the face. I think we have some
I
chance.
didn't know it was a null god at the time. God, we
Well, you still did. Now
Even though Chaz can't be seen at the moment, she's kind of nodding along with Kibra.
thanks, Chaz. I can feel
you
the
can't
support
grab-
in my heart.
For filth, I'm dragging genocidal murderers for filth. That's not how this works. I guess it's how it works now. Alright. Well, let's see what we can do to stop this thing then.
Wait. Before you go. I'm going to go turn myself in now, with what little strength I have left in me. But before I do, please just make it as painless as possible for her. She didn't deserve what I gave her. She didn't deserve this.
Oh, actually, I do have something. I'm gonna march back up to him. I'm gonna come really close. Hey, did you send that wind elemental?
Yes, that was me.
You sent that assassin after Loren. You had no reason to do that. You almost died if we hadn't shown up. Whatever your opinions about what happened with that girl, it doesn't excuse that.
He makes a very good point.
It is a reason, not an excuse. But I'd hope to contain her. I'd hope to contain her and keep her here. But her influence has grown farther than I could. But yes, I understand.
Do you have the key that the elemental took?
No. The elemental never returned to me with the keys, so...
Well, we did kind of kill it. So...
But the key wasn't in the locket afterwards. We never recovered the key. So I assumed it had just vanished into another plane and then returned to Ordo. Okay. Maybe I was wrong about that, but anyway.
I really hope that was Glenn saying that in character.
You know what? Why not? Why not? I'm a very obvious character. I might as well. Okay, but now I'm heading further on. I've got nothing else to say to him.
Glenn might be... maybe...
Yeah, if you wanna...
Maybe wait.
Oh, till Kate gets back? Oh, you told me to wait.
No, I mean, I'm saying it in character. Like, you know, last time you went on ahead.
I know, I'm just angry.
I know.
Sorry. If I'm being honest, being cooped up in the city too long has really, really, really affected my mood, and I'm sorry.
You
I
see,
can
sorry.
see that.
You see him sort of slowly hobble away from you, but he also quickly makes a 180 because the character, I completely forgot to mention this. One more thing. I cannot gain access to her. To the chamber ahead because only those, it seems, only those infected can go in. And by whatever grace I am not.
Oh.
At that, Vic's just going to turn around and go back down the hallway from where they came.
Are you going to coat yourself in infected null blood or something?
Yep. We have a cure now.
Yeah, I know,
But still.
I'd like to just throw. Yeah, I'd like.
What?
Yeah, no. Sorry, if you. I would have liked Vic to throw a common sense D20 roll if that was his original.
I
If it
will
was
do
planned.
that now then. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, you're sure nothing bad will happen with that.
Jesus, Martin,
Well,
flippin' Joseph, Vic!
It'll
The
happen
second
exactly
you
how
Also,
you
walk
think.
Vistra's
back-
the only one who has access to Morty's little temple.
Temple?
We
Hey,
don't have
I
a
knew
beast.
I knew full well you were going to take a leaf out of the Predator handbook. Couldn't help yourself.
He's not going to infect himself. He's just going to put the blood on his skin where it gets the hose again.
Are you sure you have no open wounds anywhere at all?
He's going to put it on his forearms, not on his chest. Jeez. Okay. Oh, we're back.
D&D appropriate cursing.
Okay,
Is this,
sorry. Mango
is
just
this-
messaged me saying
Mhm.
that she is trying to come on right now, but internet is dying.
Oh
Oh
boy.
no.
No, she'll make it on. We'll just
No. Come on, internet. Come
So
on.
Is this barrier just at the end of the corridor?
You can go for a closer look if you go down the mouth of the tunnel, where the mist fog thing is obscuringly thick.
Kidiga would
I mean,
go
I'll
with
wait for
Glenn.
Vic. Yeah, but we should wait till Vic. We shouldn't go.
To get back to himself.
Oh, we have cold water. Sorry.
Hello. Okay, so we are awaiting Vic's advice and or plans on his fantastic common sense roll.
Actually, he did have an idea.
He has a cunning plan.
Oh boy.
Share with the class this time, please.
If I take this flail and coat it in the blood of a diseased gnoll and carry it with me, will it count as thinking that somebody in our party is diseased?
No.
He rolled a natural 1, he's gonna go do it anyway.
Oh fuck.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Because
It's not
Kidiga's just
third.
watching him like, what are you doing? Vic? Vic?
Give me a sec.
Vic?
Are we still in like the same sort of chamber as the bodies of the gnolls, or do I have to go back
it's-
further?
It is a bit further back, but not too long a walk. So like
While
it's sort of
Vic
like
is
going
doing
up the
that-
street.
While Vic is doing that, Chaz is walking down the pathway, and I heard barrier mentioned while I was coming back. So
you would have heard it over the earring clasp. That's it.
yeah, is she having a which end is the barrier on? Is my
The-
question.
The barrier. I'd like you to do an Arcana check to see where it is.
Eight.
You do see the hint of a shimmer just beyond the fog, in front, sort of like a little bit in front of the doorway.
She's just gonna walk up close to it and just have a look at it, see what she can see.
Okay. As you come closer, you notice that you can sort of see the separation between the fog on this side and the fog on the other side of what is now much more seemingly apparent a barrier. And just beyond that is a sort of dilapidated looking masonry just beyond with a large archway and similarly aged looking doors closed at the moment and presumably locked.
Chaz is gonna take out her bag of bugs. And she's gonna take out one of the bugs from inside the bag of bugs and lob it at the barrier and see what happens.
when it flies through the air and makes contact with the barrier, there is a sort of a sizzling sound, but you don't see any sort of light or impact sort of effects coming from it, and it bounces back off and drops back down to the ground.
She's gonna frown at the bug.
The bug feels frowned at.
The bug questions its life choices.
That's all she's gonna do, really, with it.
Okay. So, Vic, you eventually make your way back towards the area where there is currently 2 more gnolls looking freshly slain. Another 2 gnolls, they seem to be trying to make a fire. They're currently trying to do turning one of it looks like a broken off end of a club into another club, and they're trying to start a fire with it.
Forgetting about his plan for a second, Vic just looks at him. He's like, "Do you guys want a hand?"
One
Literally. Here.
of the gnolls sort of looks at you and looks at your hand, and lets out an inquisitive yip.
Not an actual hand. I mean, I can just light the fire for you. I have matches.
One of them sort of looks between you and the other gnoll, and they pick up the 2 broken pieces of club and give it to you.
Alright, so Vic's gonna take a match out of the matchbook that he's got with him and strike it and see if he can set one end of it on fire.
It's a little moist in the air, and the fire isn't quite exactly catching on the club.
Vic just goes, "Alright, give me a sec." His shirt's already a goner, so he's just gonna rip a part of the hem off and wrap it around the
Fucking
club and then
Vic.
set it on
Out,
fire.
William Shatner.
Oh my god.
It's already a goner. It's already a goner this time.
All his shirts already gone at the moment Vic puts them on.
It's true. He puts them on and then suddenly bullet holes appear and he's like, "This isn't even in game canon! What's happening?"
So your shirt, it is ripped off.
Slightly become a midriff tank top, yes.
Tank top.
Somewhere Silent Tread perks up in interest.
Hmm.
He's still wearing his wizard poncho too, so he looks like he's like, he can
Bless.
cover it if he needs to.
You know Taco from TV?
He does have a leather breastplate on, so it looks a little bit like he's too extra for time
Amazing.
in general.
Oh god.
But yeah, he's gonna wrap around the end of the club and then light the thing on the cloth on fire, and by the time the cloth burns through, it should catch the wood on fire. So,
Which it does as well. It does go all the way. And as the fire does catch on and actually maintain, the 2 gnolls the other side give congratulatory yipping.
Vic takes like a bow, just like a lazy bow, and hands them back the sides of the 2 pieces of club.
Amazing.
Okay, so they take back the club torch, and they slowly start to make their way to the 2 fresher bodies of their dead compatriots.
Okay.
Yes.
Vic, like, because he distracted himself with gnolls and fire and suddenly becoming the fire god of the gnolls, he was just like, "Wait, what was I doing here?"
Null Prometheus.
Alright. And I did roll a 15 on my intelligence check, so it does occur to him, I'm pretty sure, that he can, like, go, "Wait, we have Morty."
Sorta.
Yeah.
So he's gonna turn around and go back and just be like, "Hey, Kidra, Glenn, can we get Morty?"
Well, if that doesn't mean that might be a bad idea. That could put him in a huge amount of danger.
Well, technically, he was like hell-bent on going to the mines, and we are kinda in the mines now anyway, so
But
I
we
don't-
can't get through without somebody who's infected.
I don't see how that would...
Can I take? I want to take a look at this barrier first.
Okay.
Alright. I made fire.
Just over her earpiece because I have a sinking feeling, and I can't in character talk about it. Chaz is just gonna be like, Vic, why were you celebrating before?
I bring upon the fire to the animals who had none.
Why did they want to fire?
To burn bodies.
Burn them or eat them?
Burning them, I told them they shouldn't eat them because they're all infected. I guess if you cook the bodies enough, you might be able to cook the infection out.
I wouldn't.
Did you remind them?
I'll be back. He's gonna turn around and go back to the knoll.
Vic, we don't have time for this.
We have
Chaz is actually gonna be like, at this point, well, actually, you don't really need to remind them because according to you guys, all we need is someone with the stone plague to get through this barrier.
All we need is love. Do, 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 do. All we
Someone
need
living,
is
I'm assuming, with the
love.
stone plague.
Does that mean that that person will go through? Doesn't mean that we will as well, does it?
Go have a look at the barrier while I try to talk the gnolls out of cooking and eating their brethren.
Alright, I'd like to go up to the barrier and try and make an arcana check on it.
Please do.
Chaz is just gonna like say to herself, "Save me from people who can't catch hints."
That's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
You stretch out your feelings, and you
I
can
know it to be true.
know it to be true. There is indeed a thank you, Father. Just place it here on the fidget spinner. Thank you.
Is that putting coffee on a fidget spinner like counterintuitive?
A little. Anyway, hello, it's my father. All right, so you stretch out your feelings, and you know the barrier to be true. It is indeed
Yes,
there.
Dad. True.
You can see the telltale.
Here comes the cat.
Ah, we're boring, Ken.
So, you can see the telltale signs of the barrier, and it is indeed there. You can see where the fog stops on either side of the barrier. It is about 4 feet away from the stonemasonry, just beyond it. And you can feel the source of this particular magic coming from something strong.
Okay, so I wouldn't be able to discern the nature of how it will let things through, or like, mostly I'm really worried if we let Morty through, Morty's just going to run off and we're still not going to be able to follow him.
Oh.
So I'm wanting to know if one passing through will dispel it, if it needs something else as well, because I'm willing to burn a spell slot to try and dispel this thing if there's any chance, though I doubt there is a chance of that.
You could certainly try.
Sure, why not?
Just
All right.
roll a one.
Casting Dispel Magic at 3rd level. I'm assuming it's higher than 3rd level magic, so I'm going to need to roll to... Yep. Okay, so the DC will be 10 plus whatever the spell level of the barrier is. Oh. No, that's terrible. Don't even bother. No, I didn't make it.
What did you roll?
Okay.
I rolled a 3 plus 3, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do your best to try and deconstruct whatever magic summons forth the barrier. However, your attempts, you can feel it fizzle out as it attempts to try to override something a lot more complicated and powerful than you have in your arsenal.
wish Heck was here. He'd have a better chance with this.
And so,
Okay, love. Well, any other ideas?
Chaz is just at this point going to pop out of stealth right next to Glenn and just be like,
Rude.
we could let the gnolls infect themselves by eating the food and then see what happens.
That's a bit dark, but alright. Not like I can convince you to one way or the other anyway.
I just gave them fire. Why do you want to ruin my good work? I'm teaching them the ways of man, or drow, or elf, or whatever the fuck it is I'm teaching them. Soon they'll figure out what opposable thumbs are.
Don't they already have opposable thumbs?
Vicky's gonna go back to the gnolls though. What are they up to?
the gnolls are currently trying to set the bodies on fire, but failing. Because right now what they're literally done is they've piled the bodies of the previous skirmish all together and literally just trying to light it as is.
Oh.
So right now the best that they're attempting is singeing and or superheating some bits of armor, leather, melting it a little, but nothing is really catching on fire.
That'll stink.
Vic's just gonna ask people over the earpiece, do you reckon they'd let me borrow the cure for like 3 seconds?
No. The cure?
I just feel kind of bad about the idea of like using somebody like this, even if they are null.
In the background of Vic's, please, you can hear the distant sounds of confused yipping being replied to by imperious, angry yipping.
I mean, they're doing their best. It isn't working, but they're trying.
That was adorable.
Is Vistra like with us, or not with us at all?
I
think she is.
Not sure, actually.
She was with Chaz.
Yes, she was with Chaz, and they were making their way into the mines. So yes, we are all together except for Morty.
All right,
Heck.
Morty's in Vistra.
Wait, where's Heck?
Vistra has the thing.
Wait, where is Heck?
Heck has retreated to throw his clout around at the forward camp.
Erasnian cloud.
To make sure that they don't try to stop us from doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Vistra has her earpiece, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Vic's just gonna ask her, can you get Morty for us?
Sorry, just double checking something, but I can try, but oh,
That's a worry. What is that sound? Why are you making that sound?
Sorry, Mango. Her internet's really killing because it's being shit, and global mobile data isn't strong enough for long-term Skype right now because the summit.
Oh.
All right. While Vic has asked her this, she is currently having like that loading symbol.
Alright, so what are we up to?
I'm still waiting on Mango's reply, but I'm gonna guess she's not gonna be able to really comment much. So I'm just trying to think. I'm pretty sure Vistra shows some reluctance because Vistra is concerned with Morty's welfare, and she doesn't like the idea of Morty going in there alone in the case that it only allows Morty in.
Yeah.
Well,
Over the ear cloth. Over the ear cloth. Could you cut off one of the dead gnoll's legs?
Alright. Vic will go cut off a dead gnoll's leg.
Or a body part at least. It doesn't have to be a leg.
I might take a hand.
What does that need? I'm gonna say strength, I guess.
Do you need a hand with that?
Wait. No,
That's 20, not natural.
it might cost
Oh,
him
nice.
Me.
Okay.
I say we call it Edward.
Vic's just gonna be to the Knoll, sorry, I need this, and then just cut off one of the dead Knoll's hands.
They give you confused dips and then confusingly offer you back the club torch.
Say, no, you can keep that. I just need this.
Oh, honeys.
They look at the gaping bit where you severed the limb, and they sort of look between you and that, and they start trying to start the fire from there.
This is gonna be like, he's gonna stop for a second and go, okay. And he's gonna take the flask of whiskey out of his weird wizard poncho. And he's gonna unscrew the top and pour it over what he has left over the bodies, and then go try lighting that.
There's a few, as you pour it all over the bodies, there's like a couple of like excited but confused chirrups coming from them, like. And then when you sort of gesture towards their club torch, they start to prod it in the. Prior to this, they've been trying to prod the flaming bit of the torch into the bodies. So no, when they prod it, it barely touches the actual thing. When sort of the flames eventually, the flames catch onto the fire, everything starts to sort of spread, like very like gradually. And they start making like startled yelps as one of the other Gnoll who isn't holding the torch jumps back and yelps at the Gnoll holding the torch, who's now like trying to do it carefully by like extending one hand away from their body and trying to prod the rest of the bodies.
It's like, okay, the bodies will catch. Okay.
They do this is sort of like frightened jumping backwards, and then they just throw the whole club torch into the pile of bodies.
Vic is so proud of them. He's so proud. Like, good job, guys. I'm gonna go. You should get going. And then he turns around and just like walks back towards everybody. And there's my pizza.
Oh,
Nice.
Pizza.
Hello, pizza.
Hello, pizza.
Flirting by failing does sound like their kind of thing.
I don't think that's what was happening there, though.
Mhm.
Anyway, Vic, you have the severed hand now. Yeah?
We gave him a
He
hand.
comes back, and he's got his sword in one hand and a hand in the other hand.
Oh wait, wait, sorry. The hand you took?
Yep.
It's the left hand. So you're not all right.
I'm just so displeased with you. They can't drop you out of the call, but my god, they can hide from you.
I hate you in general. Okay. So yeah, Vic wanders up to the others with the hand. He slaps Ordo in the back of the head with it on the way past.
Chaz is just going to be like, did he get any blood on him?
No, Vic did not get any blood on him because he knows better.
Not Vic, Ordo.
Don't think so.
Damn it, we could have used him as bait.
Make him eat it.
Ah!
So Vic's gonna wander through to where Glenn and Chaz are and see if the hand does the thing.
Depends. What are you doing with the hand?
Gonna stick it in the barrier.
The hand feels like it is trying to penetrate a soft but firm film, thin, invisible film, but does not.
I think we need Morty.
Darn it, I really didn't want to do this.
Push Titan.
So regardless of what you want to do, that's what needs to be done.
I know.
Besides, we can't really keep Morty away forever.
Locked away in his
Yeah.
extra planar tower.
Well,
Extra planar happy place.
Yeah.
Is it really?
well, we're gonna have to convince Vistra of it anyway, not me.
Oh, okay, confirmation. Bistra, knowing the lack of options available to the rest, eventually acquiesces. She
Okay.
She conveniently hands over the rod so that it is now somebody else's responsibility.
Somebody else's
Glenn,
problem. Make Glenn do it.
Well, if that's May's choice, I'll go with that.
Well, you're the only magic user left. Purely magic
Wake
user
up,
anyway.
Wake up your
No,
boyfriend,
Chaz
Glenn.
is a magic user as well.
Ah, this is
Vic
true.
a magic
She's an
user
arcane
as
trickster.
well,
She
but-
has one spell.
Wake up your
No,
boyfriend,
she has more than
Glenn.
one spell, but she only has really illusory magic.
Wingdings.
Okay.
Wingdings.
Alright, so yeah.
Matt.
I unhappily take the rod. Do I need to
Okay.
Arcana check it just to see how it works because I haven't had a chance yet, or is it pretty easy to know what to do?
You feel a certain obviousness
Oh,
to the
no,
way it
May.
works. It is sort of just an imposing of will.
On the rod.
The-
You have to impose your
Rod.
will on the rod. Do you understand, Glenn? All of your will. All over the rod. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I need to make a will, like a wisdom check, or
No. You
Alright.
just literally put your intentions to
Alright.
it, and it will know.
Okay. So I'm not gonna aim it right at the barrier. I'm sort of gonna hopefully like have it so he'll pop out kind of between Kedra and like so there's a few people around him so we can stop him from just charging through straight away. If I can help.
Does
Like
does Glenn make his intentions known? As to like
okay. All right, I'm gonna try and send him, and I assume a cat is gonna come out as well. Just make sure he doesn't dash off.
got it.
All right.
Kidra is going to position herself kind of in between where Morty is supposed to appear and the barrier so she can catch him, if anything.
Okay. I do the thing.
Okay.
Do you think?
You feel a tug, but it looks like at the other end of the rod. Morty,
Ah!
you have been feeling an odd urge to go somewhere far, far away from where you are right now, but it seems very distant, very muted.
Hmm.
So you're not exactly primarily compelled by it at the moment.
Where am I exactly?
You are back just at the fringes of the forest, sort of at the edge of between known property of the rocks and just sort of the smatterings of the forest leading up to the rock property.
I don't... Anyone around at all?
It's completely empty.
I feel like I should have someone with me. Something small, large.
I'd like you to roll a perception check.
Fuck.
Someone small, someone large. An old priest and a young priest.
Something new, something old, something borrowed, something blue.
I'm not getting married.
Yet.
Yet.
As per usual, guess what he got?
17?
Okay, sorry, plus perception, that's actually 6.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
that's actually 6. Gosh.
You feel a strange tug at your in your visions, something that should urge you to look closer towards the forest, and you see the glimpse of a figure dashing between the sparse trees. A figure with long, dark tresses of hair.
Maddie?
You see the ghost of a hand matching her pale complexion, and it looks as though she is beckoning you towards the woods.
Yeah, but... Like, Morty starts following in, but sort of stops every now and again, like... I should have... someone else. But is still following the figure anyway.
Okay. As you come closer, really almost at the like skirting the edge of the thick part of the forest, you see her figure sort of dashing in between the trees further in. And you hear a soft giggle. And along the trees, you hear the wind carry a whisper of your name.
Maddie, you gotta come back. It's nearly dark. You can't... We'll get in trouble with Michael Mess again if we... Fuck. Fine. No, he fails that so badly. No, he's gonna follow in. I just rolled a 1 with that.
As you put your best foot forward, you feel another tug. This one feeling more physical, visceral, pulling you backwards. And you look to your right, and the edges of your vision seem to start to blur.
No.
And
wait, no, don't.
You remember everything you need to remember. You remember your friends. You remember your responsibility.
Fuck.
You remember Vic. You remember Glenn, whose face starts to form in the center of the right of the center of this little blurry portal to your right.
Oh god. Odds or evens?
Evens.
Fuck's sake. Okay. Nope. Sorry. I actually rolled a freaking 3. That means he's still going towards his sister. Or what he looks like his sister is.
Despite your intentions, the portal seems to start to envelop your entire world, and it starts to sort of like fade away.
No.
And the scenery shifts to that of a damp cavern.
Dang.
With
the dankest cavern.
Dank memes.
But as your world shifts back into the material plane, a small edge of your paradise, lost, remains, and your hand outstretched to catch after Madrigal suddenly feels a grip around the wrist, and heard only to you a scream, "Mordecai!"
Fuck!
And then, as quickly as it had happened, the grip is gone, your paradise dissipated, and you are amongst your companions. Vic.
No, put me back,
Come back.
Please tell me.
Yes, a cat is also back.
Confused.
Vic is gonna take his head in his hands and just go.
No, wait, put me back. You have to put me back now.
Licking your nose.
What? You have to put me back.
I'm straight away just like getting a hand on him, just make sure.
No, wait, just She's there. She's calling my name. Why did you take me? I need to go back.
Morty,
What?
get your shit together.
What? Where the hell are
Stop.
we?
Stop. We need you. We need you right now. There's a barrier we can't pass through. We believe you can do it.
Oh.
But we need you to stay safe. We don't know what's going to be on the other side. And
May, I am about to do a whisper thing, so keep going, Glenn.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah. Okay.
listen, all right, we're in the mines. Something's erected a barrier that we can't pass through, but
Erect.
we believe that.
Thank you, Chaz.
Thank you for the input, Chaz. That's totally in character. Don't even pretend it isn't.
It is when Glenn's talking.
Like, do you want want me to deal with an erection of
No.
a barrier?
Mordecai, because you've had the stone plague,
Yeah.
we believe that you can pass through whatever is blocking the path.
Even if
But-
I'm cured?
I don't know. You're the only option we have right now.
Option, throw Morty at it.
You're not technically cured.
Believe me, we tried everything else we could think of, and we wouldn't have brought you back otherwise because we know that this is dangerous. And I don't even know if it's going to help us get through as well. I don't want you to be on your own past there. But we need you.
Yeah, of course. We need to deal with this first. Okay. Wait. So only people who have been affected can go through.
That's what we think.
Is there a way to turn the barrier off once I get corrosive? That's...
I don't know.
Okay, well... Oh, by the way, I need the new guns card, by the way, Lee.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't upload that. I didn't upload it to the GP.
Yeah, I forgot
Sorry.
that. Yeah, I forgot. I just remembered as well.
Vic's gonna look at Morty and just be like, so, if you want, one of us can hold your hand to see if you can pull us through with you.
I can do that.
That was volunteering.
Actually, yeah, I think Kedra's a good choice for that.
As long as you just have to carry Morty in.
And what if...
Morty's not a dwarf.
Wait, if I go through and it cuts off whoever's... You can tie a rope around me and hold that. Because, in all honesty, right now, I really...
Cut off the rope too.
A rope's easier to replace than a hand. Idra's
I
hand.
don't think it's gonna.
Vic
I don't
holds
think
up
it will
the
cut
extra
anyone
hand.
off.
What the fuck is that?
It's a
it's a null hand.
paw. And
I just want Vic to make it wave.
Lend a hand.
Really?
Do you like another hand in this trying time?
No, I think I
Really
prefer an
does
egg.
Have a messed up sense of humor.
Okay. If Kedra can hold the hand I can hold. Then even if that gets cut off.
Did we already establish that the null hand does absolutely nothing?
No, but I'll be
For the
holding.
bear?
I'll be holding it.
It was
Okay.
a joke, Morty.
Can we try it? Because if I hold Kedra's hand gets cut off. I'll be very
Well,
upset.
Hold that only live beings could cross through the barrier.
What if I think we're jumping to conclusions? Maybe it'll just keep me out. You know, I'll use my non-dominant hand.
If you're
We'll
alright
get you
with
a cool
that,
new one if it fucks up. We'll get the dwarves to make you
I'll
one.
make you a new one.
I can deal with that. I think.
All right.
Oops.
Let's throw
mean,
Morty
I
at this.
Yeah, I mean, I almost already died.
Yeah. I want to go home. All right. All right.
I know, Morty. I know.
All right. Let's go do this. Get right straight up. So the can you actually see the barrier? Like see it? Does it shimmer? Does it glitter?
There's a soft shimmer, and to those untrained with our with the way the magical barrier would work, you can see specifically where the fog on this side ends and the fog on the other side ends. So there's a thickness to the barrier too.
Okay. He stands just at the edge and like going, anyone want to wish me luck?
Kidiga
Good luck,
takes
buddy.
his hand. Kidiga takes his hand. It's gonna be okay.
No, I'll go up and just put a hand on his shoulder. I'll cast resistance cantrip on him.
Oh.
Say, good luck. Good luck.
You
can
feel
do
it
this.
tingly. You feel spicy.
That was a very tingly luck.
Muy caliente.
I wish Rocket was still here.
Okay, well. He screws his eyes shut and takes a big step forward.
So does Kidiga.
Initially, Morty, it feels like walking into a very soft paper. But up to a certain point, the resistance gives. And now it feels like you're walking through a very moist membrane.
Moist.
Moist.
This bird is very moist. Okay,
What about Kidiga?
Most of Morty follows in. So does Kithra.
Yes. Well, she would have tried to step through together with him if, like, the width of the barrier allows for it.
It feels like a moist membrane.
But she does come through.
See?
Does she come through together with him?
Yes, she does.
Cool.
Seeing Kedra start to come through, I like.
Coolio.
Should we all hold hands?
She's just like waving her hand, one of her
Okay,
remaining hands
I'll
outside
grab
of the barrier while.
I'll grab on Kedra's hand.
Please be careful.
I'll hold out for whoever is gonna...
What's to grab next?
Chaz is gonna look at Vic and just be like, I'm not touching that.
Oh my
You
God.
have to, because I have to take a cat.
How about Vistra? Vistra, go.
Oh yeah. All right, sure. She jumps forward and you're holding your hand a bit high, so she kind of has to stop a little, and she grabs it.
Yes.
Chaz will quite happily grab Vistra's hand.
Amongst other things.
Vic's gonna grab Chaz's and then put a hand on a cat and drag him through.
Nice.
Okay. Eventually, yes, you all eventually get through the barrier, and you all feel a little disgusted because it feels like literally a vacuum tight thing you're pushing against, and it sort of like forms around your it molds around your figures, and it feels like a wet towel being draped across your skin before you emerge on the other side.
Anyone else feel
Chaz is
unclean?
very, very quietly just gonna say, "We better be able to get back, or I'm gonna kill all of you." Trusting you all right now.
You won't kill Vistra.
I will. I won't be able to get back.
Yo, let's be honest here. You just rescind boob privileges.
No, don't do that. Vistra.
Okay, I'm opening my eyes now. So, yay, we've made it through the barrier. Where are we going?
Murder.
Underground murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
What we know, that Ordo guy made a pact with some undead god to try and bring back his protege, some young girl who died too young. He was obsessed, he made a big mistake, and that's what has caused all of this stone plague. He can't help us, he doesn't know what to do about it. So we're there to try and deal with this thing that has possessed that girl.
So, when you say he... What, did he specifically just went, oh, hey there, God, can you help me get there? And just the wrong God listened?
He threw a projectile prayer, basically.
And hit the wrong God.
Yeah.
That happens, right? That you can miss. You can pray and miss. I'm not a cleric. Santa Michael miss.
Generally, when you pray, you're praying to a specific god.
You're supposed to aim those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know
It's like a
this.
slingshot. You're supposed to aim, otherwise somebody yells at you for breaking their window.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that usually just happens to like powerful magic users, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, let's go. We're gonna keep going.
Worried, nor already worried.
Alright, so we have mist on this side. We have a chance to try and stealth again, don't we?
You may certainly try.
Oh boy.
That's a good idea, I suppose. Come on.
Where's my somber die?
Nice!
Mine's
25.
not so great.
Yay!
Oh boy.
I only managed about 8.
Fuck. What do I add to it?
21.
Sorry, what do I add to this?
Dex.
Dex. Dex?
Just whatever your stealth modifier is.
Stealth. Okay, true. Oh great, I got 13.
Oh, do we still have what's its step? Pass without a trace?
I'll check what the time limit on Pass Without a Trace is. Okay, hang on. Alright, it is an hour. We haven't burned an hour, and I haven't technically been hurt, so my concentration can still be... No, wait, no. Yeah, casting Dispel Magic doesn't affect that. Yes, no, we can still have Pass Without a Trace.
Okay,
so mine's
so...
actually 18.
So it's plus
Mine's
what
30.
exactly? So plus what exactly? How much?
10.
Plus 10?
Plus
10.
10.
Okay then, 23, yeah. Yay!
31.
I'm being very sneaky.
The stealthiest half-orc.
You all...
Vic,
You
look,
beat
I'm
me.
stealthy.
But then again, I only rolled a 10.
I rolled 18 plus 3 plus 10.
I rolled 19 and I get a plus 6 because I'm proficient in Dex.
For God's sake.
Consider yourself stealths. Now you have a door in front of you.
A jar?
Fucking doors.
Is it a very standard sort of door? Is there just handle?
It's a dilapidated looking door with a slightly wobbly looking handle. Sort of like the ones that are
18 check for traps.
in the middle of the door, and they like little rings. I don't know what to call them. Yeah.
Oh, nothing.
Chaz got an 18 on check for traps.
The check for traps. Yeah. All right. As you give a thorough look around the edges and the usual suspect areas for door traps, you find none.
Luca.
Hey, Luca.
Sleepy cat.
So, a door.
A door, not
Doesn't
a jar.
look like it's trapped.
Well, we won't know anything unless we open it. It's gonna open it.
You open it. The fog seems lighter on the other end, as the thick fog that was currently enveloping this part of the wall sort of like floods in. You open the door and it reveals a very large, looks like what used to be some sort of gated kind of community, but very much old, very dilapidated and ancient. There are walls crumbling all around, and the cavern, in fact, sort of like expands much larger, with a humongous sort of roof above you. There's sparse lighting, and the lighting itself actually looks familiar. Little orbs of it scattered across the ceiling, still sort of trying to give off some dim lighting. And those of you inclined can recognize it as the same magic lighting that they have in Redthrone above to simulate day and nighttime. And currently, at this point, you see that it is either very late afternoon or very early morning.
Does that jive with what the time is actually?
No, it isn't. It should actually be right noon.
Did we find the lost city of the Morlocks?
Found a
Dwarlocks.
lost city or something.
Warlocks.
Dwarlocks.
Um,
Can we detect any movement or any signs of recent activity?
there is plenty of movement, in fact.
Huh.
Before you, there is almost, it looks like, a community of undead. But they don't seem hostile. There are various stalls, tiny, made-up little marketplaces, and some of them seem to be exchanging goods. There are a couple of undead-looking fauna horses pulling at carriages, carrying what I guess you could assume was produce at some point in its life, but right now you can see in the boxes on the cart is rotten, if not, inedible food. You see occasionally some of the, it's not exactly hard to tell, but a lot of these beings before you seem to be zombies or undead of some form. There are also a couple of ghouls that are traveling around, but they seem rather listlessly stationed in various places as if guards. I'd like you guys to roll perception check as well quickly for me.
That was a 1.
Natural 20. So 21.
10.
Okay. 10. And Glenn got a
10.
what, Tom?
10.
Huh?
I put in.
10?
I
Oh,
put
sorry,
in
shit.
10.
Right, my bad.
Okay.
And Kat, what did Chaz get?
7.
7, okay. Kedra, wait, fuck, what was it? Yeah, Kedra, Glenn, and obviously Morty. The one thing that is currently making your hair stand on end when you notice it is the faces plastered across each and every zombie is that of a pleasant smile. However, how pleasant is entirely your mileage may vary because a lot of their faces have various amounts of decay on it, so parts of their musculature, rotting bits of flesh, and or skeletal structure is sort of like stretched and distorted to see the smile.
Chaz just very quietly is just going to go bonjour, 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 bonjour.
Like, why are they smiling?
Here comes the tiefling stealing shit like always.
Why are they smiling?
Luca.
Not even a smile?
Gotcha.
Why are they what?
They're
They just look like
smiling.
corpses.
No. Look. That's
Your idea of what a smile is needs to be seriously checked.
No, but he's right. That they do look like they are smiling.
They look like their flesh is rotting away from their skulls.
That too, but they
Yep.
are smiling while their flesh is rotting away from their skull.
Lee,
Yeah.
is it like a really overdone Joker smile on?
Yeah,
all
I was
of
gonna
them,
ask,
Or is
yeah.
it like or is it like just but like as what they are smiling naturally like they're going about their day unaware that they're undead, but they just happen to be pleasant to each other? Or is it overdone?
That's the key term. Pleasantville smile.
Oh, okay.
Vic looks around instinctively for wanted posters.
Also, Morty, the thing you do notice is the way they smile is all almost exactly similar. Most people smile a certain way, bare their bottom teeth or their top teeth or both, a certain variation to smiles. Morty, you notice theirs are all exactly the same. Both teeth are bared and
Horrible.
their smiles are pasted on yay.
it's as if it is their approximation of what a smile was if they never knew what a smile was before.
Something's
The way
not
I
right
smiled
here.
when I was a kid.
You mean nothing reaching your eyes? You have a smile and your eyes were like
Wow.
a trapped, tortured animal.
Horrible.
Like after this, I'll show you. But literally, that's what it looked like. I get it. Okay. I realize I'm saying this in an underground town of undead people selling rotten food, but something's not right here.
I would much rather not interact with any of these people.
Good plan. Good plan.
But I know Vic's going to do the thing where he walks up and says hi.
No, Vic is stealth. He's not going to do anything of the slightest. He is, however, going to see if he can look around and see if he can see somebody in charge.
There's right now you seem to be sort of at the outskirts of the community. Right now before you see a lot of some form of agriculture being put, because there are these little tilled ground, properly tilled, but they bear no fruit, no produce. There are little strings of what used to be some form of vegetation here, but whatever they were no longer discernible. Basically, you see a lot of farms, very small kind of contained farms here, being tended to. But you do see some form of a more community, more central business district further in if you follow this main road.
Well, Vic's going to suggest that they continue following the main road because he's terrified, and none of them seem to have talked to the manager haircuts yet. You'll know he's on the right track if he sees somebody with a talk to the manager haircut.
We're not in here to fight people, right?
Not these people. We're here to stop them from being created.
So if they're being created, wouldn't they be created with magic? Wouldn't the place with the most magic?
Ghouls, buddy.
Yeah.
They're ghouls.
Yeah. So whoever's
vampire thralls, basically.
Whoever's creating them, the vampire, the necro thing, would have the most amount of magic.
Approximately about 6 years old and has been dead for a while, according to Ordo. Yeah, I thought I'd warn you, buddy.
A child.
No, not a child. No child would be capable of this. It might look like a child, but it's not a child.
I came for a job. Finish the job.
Well, for one, I'm not really that fond of the idea of undead slavery, so let's see what we can do about it.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk it to death. Undeath.
Re-death?
Re-death? Second death?
Re-death.
Re-death?
It's the death after breakfast.
Second death?
Just before lunch death.
11sies?
11sies, 11 death.
Brunch death.
Brunch, yes, death by brunch.
Okay.
I had that happen to a friend of mine once. I think I did. Can't remember.
Well, that sounds like a terrible way to go, so...
Continuing unhappy sounds, but yes.
Yeah, we're just going to keep going.
Jazz is just literally at the moment trying to make light of the situation just to make Morty feel better. It's not really working, but she's trying.
Friendship.
I'd like to throw another sort of stealth roll for me,
Oh
please.
boy. Stealth. Sick.
It's up to you how long in game I still have passed without a trace.
So, do we still have it?
You still have it.
Okay.
So that's 19 for me. I'll switch out this dice.
We hide. I'm using the buy dice. The buy dice is good.
Good for you.
It's a good day to be by. Bye, bye,
Mhm.
bye.
I'm
Well,
not die.
Pies are good at being invisible.
Bye die. This is true. Bye die.
Are we planning to take a break soon? Because I need
Yes.
to get started soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
we're just creeping up to
Doesn't have to be
150.
right away. Just.
Do you think you can hold out for 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
All right. So.
It sounds like Mum's getting dinner ready as well, just so you know.
Yep.
that's
10
right.
minutes.
All right. So as you guys continue, a lot of the farms sort of fall out of your vision, and a couple more sort of like outskirty suburban houses pop up. And you notice a lot of them are living very similar lives. A lot of you started to notice that there's a lot of similarity in a lot of their actions. For instance, I'd like you all to roll first a perception check.
Well, I keep rolling this then. Okay, plus what again? Plus 2, so that's an...
Wait.
Okay,
Just put a fire there for me and type in.
there. I keep rolling 16.
Oh, I just got called for dinner.
Okay. Bon appetit.
Yeah,
Have
I'll be
food.
back.
Have food.
Okay. All of you.
Actually, I'll listen to this just because I got a 21.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. All of you do notice this. You notice on the front porches of a lot of these houses, are these tables. Not exactly the same table, but they're situated in the same area. But there seems to be always a family congregating around it. There are smaller looking undead figures as well running around in very barren lawns in front of them.
Yeah, Morty's gonna be
And
especially
there's-
horrified
Is it a
about
nuclear
that.
family? Is it a
Yes.
nuclear family, like dad,
Yes.
mom, 2 kids?
Weird.
2 parents, 2 kids, and they're always running in the same pattern of circles. And there's always one parent sitting at the table and another parent looking fondly over and then retreating into the house, coming back out with a tray, looking fondly, going back to the house, looking back out, and coming back down with a tray, looking fondly. It seems to be a little
On loop.
Chaz is just gonna look around and she's gonna be like,
Same thing.
they're dolls' houses.
What?
The streets are at it again.
She's just gonna be like, don't you remember, Kidra, you're a girl. Do you remember when you were a kid?
You would...
Name, the
Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. Why?
Dolls' houses. Vistra, they're dolls' houses.
Yeah, before I burnt them to a crisp because I couldn't control my magic. But yes, I see what you're talking about.
Vic does have to fight not to laugh at that.
Chaz is just gonna be like, actually, like, because Chaz is really confused as she's saying this, by the way. She's like, what the fuck? Like, because, like, she's like, she doesn't remember childhood, and she's like, this is a doll's house. How do I know this?
But you're telling me that
Like,
the undead, the person controlling all the undead, is treating them like toys.
Boys.
they're treating them like how a 6-year-old would treat them.
Any small child, really. Idealized view of what's going on. Superficial.
Can they actually see us? Well, I guess
Probably
not
not.
right now. Thank you, Glenn. But
I'd rather not find out, honestly.
If they see us, they'll probably attack us.
yeah.
Vic's still got that
Option,
rock.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Can he
I need to
toss
go.
it as far away
Okay.
from them as he can, while still having it make a noise as it connects to something?
Okay, then you can do that. I guess roll for dexterity. It's a thrown up, and so yeah.
Not that it matters, but you won't have the extra magic to it anymore.
It's only 4.
You throw it, and it does a delightful little skip across the ground.
Clink, clink, clink. Does anything react to it?
Nothing reacts to it. They all seem to be very in their own routine.
Can we break this?
Well, that answers that question.
They will know the answers. These. Chaz is right.
They don't have a mind of their own.
Yeah, this is someone playing Dollhouse. Someone
Keep
playing
going.
House.
I'd like to make an Arcana check just to see if I can sense sort of a direction of how the effect on them is being imposed, or where it may be coming from.
Where are the puppet strings?
Go for it.
That's 18.
You can sense something imposing its will. Can't
But I
exactly
can't
pinpoint
sense
where.
Where?
Not where, not who, but you know for a fact that their will is not their own.
All right. I guess we're carrying on the main road unless we're taking a break now.
Might be a good place to break.
You guys continue on, and we'll take a break.
Okie dokie.
Ta-da!
Undead rotting
Artisanal cheese.
Exotic butters.
Oh, May! Oh,
dipped in coffee.
No!
oof. What a reference. Oh, May.
Eggs Benedict.
Oh God.
Eggs Benedict.
Sure it is.
Of course.
All right, so you guys continue on. Did everyone do the perception check I asked?
Yep.
No.
Natalia didn't because she wasn't here. When
Yeah,
it was
I can do it right now.
Well, probably
19.
you also
We
see the exact
Got
same
asked
thing.
for a
I guess.
perception check. Did I do a
Yeah,
perception check?
No, you were
Yeah.
Gonski's, I think. Or were you?
No,
Okay.
you got it. You
Sorry,
got a
brain.
21, so you wanted to stay because.
Well,
you
I
got
just got a 21 again, so
That's fine. That's fine. I don't
Chaz could see
think,
all.
I don't think you were here in May. So
No, sorry, I had to step away
Oh,
for a
good.
little bit.
what the fuck did I say?
We came to the conclusion that this is basically some person's fantasy of a perfect community.
Undead Stepford.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't remember why then. Hold that roll, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you were here for that in May, weren't you? Because remember you
For
did
that,
ask about the-
yes. I was not here for like some part of the description of what it looked like. I came in when you were talking about like the nuclear family, so to speak.
Mm.
Yeah.
Get out of my throat, mucus.
Ew.
Ew.
Be gone, mucus. Be gone.
All right. So, you guys come to a little crossroads. The main road seems to fork here. Towards the left leads to a lower part of the caverns, and towards the sort of the central business district. Towards the right, it leads to something you're not quite entirely sure, but a sort of in the distance you see a small house, and you're presuming it is currently occupado because you can see in the distance a bit of smoke coming out of its little chimney.
If it's white smoke, there's gonna be a new pope.
what's
And if there's
Pope?
red smoke, we've just got another fucking cardinal.
Oh god.
Dwarf.
A dwarf.
No, it's an undead, so it's undwop.
And dwarf.
The prefixes are driving me mad.
Is there anyone we can see silhouetted in windows or out the front
Blonde red.
yard?
the area is a bit too far to really discern that. A little bit just out of discernible perception. You're pretty sure it's occupado.
Can we hear anything like conversation?
Distant sounds. There's the sound of like there's the din of I guess life, quote unquote, of sounds like children playing and all that behind you, and the distance maybe can pick up maybe a murmur or two, but it's a bit too far for anything discernible. Towards the left, you hear a lot more business. You can even see as you guys are sort of off, not down in the middle of the road, but just sort of you're off the road. You can see like a lot of carts being pulled by these undead horses, pulling the same produce back and forth.
Like Morty will sort of like stage whisper, I think the horses creep me out more.
Out of all of this, you focus on the horses.
Yeah, dead people, dead dwarves happen, but dead horses.
I mean, by this point, I think we are all a little bit desensitized to undead
Morty's
dwarves.
Chaz is gonna look at Morty and just be like, "You realize horses die too, right?"
Yes, but they die and they stay down, and I've never had to fight a horse before. Wait.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you
Wait.
had to fight Gina once or twice.
What? No, just...
Gina.
How do I remember the horse, but you don't?
Well, I never had to fight with Gina.
John doesn't like you much, though.
Just... Horses are lovely creatures. They shouldn't be undead.
Have you met a horse?
I've raised horses.
It's like a
From the
scared
dead?
couch.
From the dead, says Vistra.
I'm just saying, they're beautiful creatures. I would rather not see them undead.
If it's an
Morty,
undead
are you a horse
does that make them
nerd?
an undorse?
The war horses of Orasnia come from Taldor.
It doesn't mean you personally had anything to do with the horses.
They were our breed. That was why we have money.
Again, that doesn't mean you personally had anything to do with the horses.
Yes?
You as a person.
Yes?
Do
I didn't
you
breed.
understand the words I speak, mortal?
Why are we even talking about this? Why
Because
is
we're
this like...
freaked out by fucking undead horses.
Well, I am. But, yes.
Can we just move on and, I
Yes.
don't know, go and investigate? I don't know, maybe the creepy little house thing. Like, if we're talking about creepy things, let's just move on from one creepy thing to another creepy thing and let's just go.
Yeah, maybe the house
Okay.
has a creepy horse in it.
Creepy
I will
orgy.
creepy your horse in a second.
Like,
That sounded weird. Let's just go.
That did sound weird.
yeah, let's just move.
Edmund is still there.
I am very frightened now. I'm very frightened and confused. Thank you, Vic.
Hidra is going
You're
to
welcome.
make her way towards the creepy little house.
Vic and Morty are like, it's like Rick
She's
and Morty.
leaving. She's
Vic and Morty
leaving
is
everyone
arguing
else behind.
Vistra. No, they're gonna follow her, but I reckon Vic and Morty are
Good.
still gonna be arguing behind her.
Good. She doesn't care.
Creepy horses. Creepy horses.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad we're
I'll
making
get
good use
the
of our
dog
stealth
with
roll.
the
Yes. Thank you, Glenn.
At least we don't have to be naked for this one.
For now.
Once they
Dun, dun.
approach the tiny house a little bit closer, What more can they see make out of the noises that
What do our
emanate
eyes see?
from the place? What? Yes. What do
your
my
orc
half?
eyes see?
Yes.
Or your half orc, sorry, yeah.
It's okay.
Actually, those who want to peer in from the distance you are, like y'all to make a perception check. So I'm gonna assume you guys, when you make your way in, you're getting a bit closer, so I'll make y'all get their perception.
Bounced.
I don't see shit. I got 8.
I got 22.
I only
Oh,
got
shit.
11.
Completely slipped my mind to keep this particular detail up, but it almost could look like an idyllic little community if it wasn't for the thick layer of fog that covers up to.
Oh, excellent!
Sorry, covers up
makes-
to everyone's
That
knees.
makes it even better.
Oh,
Beaster's waste.
goodies! No, it's a lovely community of Silent Hill.
Fantastic.
Why do
That's
they
what
make
you
me
meant by
feel
Silent Hill. That's what you meant by Silent Hill. I thought you were being fire.
No. Fog. Lots of fog.
Is our wife in the trunk?
I don't know. Check.
You don't have a wife.
Yet.
You don't have a trunk.
Chaz turns around and checks her booty.
Oh my god.
Vistra
that's
with
right,
her hand on
Lester.
Chaz's ass. What?
Okay. So, y'all put your rolls in the chatter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And mate, you've been rolling super good tonight.
Nice, right?
That's nice dice. Reward that dice.
Hydra,
Not always, but
wait until she has to pick up a dwarf.
I'm changing dice to
A zombie dwarf. A zombie.
yes.
The Wombi.
Okay, so, Vic and Kedra, you guys are leading the front a bit.
Yep.
You guys see a couple of figures, a little bit covered by the blanket of fog, sort of settling around the area, and you're sort of like, as you guys sort of move, you're slightly disturbing it a little, but not. You're careful not to be too obvious. But as you come closer, you do know there's a couple of figures strewn across the land around the small house. So at this point, you can see it's actually a bit of a cottage.
As in bodies laying amidst the blanket of fog on the
You could-
ground.
You could say bodies. Some of them are prone, but some others you can sort of distinctly make out the L shape of one just sort of like just sitting on the ground, like not propped up against anything.
Vic's gonna pat them gently on their head.
Oh, sorry, you're coming closer now, because this is you seeing it from a bit far, so you've approached it.
Vic's gonna head closer because he's just kind of like A, confused, and B, kind of really wants to poke them with a stick.
There is no reaction. Kind of just sitting there. They're staring blankly off in the distance, and par for the course with the very similar expression on their face. Like so.
I don't like this ride. Can we leave?
Well, we've come this far.
I want to just kind of pull back so I'm in line with Morty, and I just want to quickly just say to him quietly, "Hey,
Hmm?
you haven't been feeling strange like you were at Vistra's house when you tried to run for the mines. You haven't felt anything like that, have you?"
Since you popped me out of Taldor, not Taldor, I want to come here, but you know how you've drank a bit, and then you want to pee, but you don't really need to pee right now, but you know you do.
Amazing.
I think I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
You're talking about the diuretic effect of certain liquids imbibed. I understand that.
Talking about the peeing.
No, it's when you want something, but you're not wanting it a lot right now.
From the side,
Okay.
Vistra quips, "Do you want to take a piss?"
Will you just let us know if you start to want something really bad?
If you really need to pee.
I really need to go home, but I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'm okay. I just
Vic's gonna wave his hand in front of the face of the sitting one that's smiling.
It unblinkingly looks on.
Knock, knock, knock. Hello? Hello?
It sounds like
Mr.
a very
Obama?
archaic. Then perish.
Oh God, no. Hello.
He does knock on its head though, like knock, knock, knock. Hello?
The head, it sounds exactly like what it would sound like if it was knocked on.
But does it sound full or does it sound hollow?
It's half full or half empty, depending on your view.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Excuse me, I'm here for the booze. Direct me to the alcohol. Okay, so they're not reacting to us in the slightest.
As you guys are a little bit, you're on the grounds now. You can hear sort of sounds coming from inside the cottage. Not conversations. It sounds like just like someone moving around the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
How
Well,
close are we to the window to the kitchen?
Not too far. I'd say about 10, 15 feet.
Vic wants to go peek in the kitchen window.
The kitchen window, while there was once upon a time presumably glass, it's mostly fallen off and in shattered pieces. You look in, and you find yourself looking over a basin. A basin full of gross-looking, one stagnant-ish water. Stinks like it too. More jarringly, there's someone in front of the basin right across from you.
whack.
Ah!
Uh-huh.
They do. However, they're looking at you. They seem to have not noticed you. They're staring straight ahead. One hand holding a rag, the other holding a broken plate, and they seem to be rigorously washing it. And suddenly, they also put it down,
So creepy.
and they pick it up again, going over it again with a rag, and repeats
God.
this.
It's like they're stuck.
I might have to roll a willpower check or something.
Why?
Constitution me.
Well, that was a 1.
Oh dear.
Oh,
So Vic's gonna do the thing.
what thing?
He's gonna wait until it's put down the plate and then reach over and take the plate before it can pick it up again.
Vic.
He wants to see what will happen.
Okay, make a dexterity check for me. And snatch it out before they pick it up again.
21.
Nice.
You snatch it deftly out of their hands like angry maid Agatha Scholastica plate.
Angry Beaver.
Sorry, that was a weird.
That was a reference. Yeah, that's the two. Only the two of us would understand that reference. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, no. Basically, you snatch that fucking plate right out of her hand, and sorry, yeah, it's a she. She keeps washing as if she's picked it up.
Vic's gonna turn around everybody else holding this plate and just be like, "Do you see this?
He's broken.
This is broken. That's fucked." Because he feels bad, he's gonna give her back the plate.
Oh my god.
She holds it at a more awkward angle, so instead of wiping on the piece that exists still there, she's picked it up and she's washing the the part that's missing.
Oh, I hope she doesn't cut herself.
I don't think she would bleed if she did.
I don't think it would do her any more harm.
Yeah,
She,
but it's the
it,
fingers.
it goes without saying, but a lot of them have varying states of decay. She is several centuries old decay. So she is all but skeleton and a tight, dry, except for the parts that have been touching the stagnant water at least, skin stretched over her dwarvish bones, and most of her face is damn skeletal now, and
Fantastic.
1.5 eyes.
At
Still
this
in there
point, Chaz is gonna look at it and she'll be like, Ordo said 300 years, right? Or at least
Something close to that,
thereabouts.
yeah.
But the stone plague is new.
Several months new, yeah.
Why are all of these, well, for lack of a better term, zombies? Why are they like in various states of decay? Like they've been revived over centuries?
Ordo did say he didn't get to the right god.
Some of these might have been claimed from crypts.
What is she doing? Wait. Was this girl his daughter?
No.
His apprentice.
A 6-year-old
Her name was
apprentice.
Verona. Is that right?
No, sorry. Verona is the name of
Verona
the
was
true silver.
the god that he tried to fight. Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, if he
Chaz
was
is gonna
in...
frown. We've seen a revenant.
Yeah.
Got stone plague. We've got vampires.
This is not
This
true
stuff
silver.
looks like it's been going on for a long time. Like this just looks like it's symptomatic of a larger problem rather than a problem in itself.
Vic, when you talk to Yunogu, sorry. What?
Wait.
What?
Lee, I might need to make an Arcana check, but I just have a theory. Was that barrier?
I didn't even know something isn't right there. Sorry.
Oh, forget it. My Arcana check was a critical fail, so you don't have to tell me squat. But I'm
tell
just
me.
going to...
What do you want to know? Tell me though.
Well, my wild theory is that passing through that barrier actually took us into a pocket dimension. Or we're not... This isn't...
I seem to be hopping through pocket dimensions.
I'm just guessing. It's just... What if this doesn't exist in the normal realm of things? We passed through a barrier. It may not have just been a barrier.
Like a portal.
Glenn, you feel like this area feels rather otherworldly, though. You have a thought and then you sneeze.
Bless
That
you.
was a terrible sneeze. Pretend.
You okay?
Mist is up my nose.
Glenn, you're like 10 feet above the ground.
What were you going to ask me, Morty?
No, it's just with Yunogu,
Settle down.
did they say anything about how long this war's been going on?
Long ass time, from what I've understood. They didn't give me specifics, but I had the feeling that it wasn't just stone plague recent, although they did start mobilizing recently. But
Chaz is
recently,
gonna
as
look
in
at
like
the corpse
the
in
last
the window.
6 months.
Okay.
But
Okay. She got a 21 on perception. Again, I'm assuming it's perception and not arcana that I need.
What are you trying to do?
She's trying to see how the corpse actually works, like how it's up and around and moving. If it's an arcana check, she got 20, not natural.
Okay. I'll say it's an arcana check.
Hmm.
There seems to be... They seem to be undead of their own right. However, you feel as though there is a magic currently suppressing their as much as you can call it natural will.
Can I follow
So-
the trail?
Hold on, let me double check. Let me
Yeah.
consult my magic papers.
The dwarf, what's his face? The guy who lent us Zeppy
Yeah.
did
Ordo?
say that they've had an undead problem for a long time.
Oh no, not Ordo. Sorry. Yeah.
Like, it isn't just stone plague recent. They've had an undead problem for a long ass time. Long enough that those 3 skulls were a normal thing to find in his family crypt.
I can't imagine that this war is going to be led by a child. But
I already told you it's
Can't
not a
focus.
child.
You can't quite trace the magic, Chaz,
Mm.
but you know for a fact that currently these unnatural beings are having their will suppressed. That's the most you can gain from your stretching out your feelings, knowing this to be true.
yeah, but is this because this is the only way they can be without going out to fight the gnolls? Or worse, going out to fight dwarves? They don't seem to
Traditionally,
care.
undead don't give a shit.
Yeah, but the will made them give a shit.
These undead give less of a shit
Than regular.
because someone is controlling them.
It's an unsettling theme for this place. I'm getting kind of sick of people trying to control other people.
Would Chaz know if revenants can control other undead?
I could throw me a. Is it
History?
I wouldn't say history. It's a nature check, but but they're unnatural. Fuck it, whatever. It's an intelligence check.
She don't know shit. She got 9, I think. Let me check. What's my intelligence score? No, she got 10.
Oh,
That's
or
fine. It's good enough. That's good enough. No. While they can lead them in the sense of skirmishes and battle, because they sort of naturally turn to a leader, most of the undead, they themselves do not have a will they can impose onto others. They tend to be
Chaz is
primarily.
just getting more and more unsettled, and she's like, guys, I think there's definitely some sort of necromancy at work,
oh god.
but how, is it a necromancer? Is it a lich?
Oh, don't
What
say a
is
lich.
it?
A lich would have made themselves known by now by popping out and killing people above ground, I guess. But
Unless the lich doesn't have what they need in order to.
Did Ordo say how he brought the girl back to life?
He prayed.
well, this is the thing. You can't just bring people back to life by praying, unless the god had.
Technically, yes, you can.
Well, unless the god had.
God is willing.
If the god is
At
willing.
this point, Chaz is just going to do at Glenn.
And it works so well because your video is right beside Tom's.
Right beside.
And when Morty doesn't say something, she's just gonna be like,
Yes, I am glad. Yes, I am glad he's
God
back.
had something to do with that, Morty. That's what Shaz is getting at.
Yes, just
Well, this is the best opportunity I'll get. I was going to say later, but thank you very much for doing that.
yeah, I didn't do it for you.
thank you very much for doing that then.
I have a theory.
That it's
Yep.
So,
Sorry.
if a god is inhabiting the body of this deceased girl,
What?
and the behaviors of these zombies, you said is the manner of a girl's playthings, then the girl's will must be having an effect on them. And maybe she's suppressing them somehow, because if she didn't, the gods may make the undead a great threat. Perhaps this is the only way that she is able to be.
Ordo
be
said
impressed.
her will wasn't her own.
But okay, I can't say this
Why
because I
would
don't
God
know.
create? Why would a god make them act this way?
Gods do things for all sorts of fucked up reasons.
That's
Ordo's
helpful.
also a grieving, well, father figure.
True.
Mm.
People lie.
Vic wants to go into the cottage itself.
Oh.
You round the perimeter of the house and find yourself sort of going up a few steps into a porch. The door is barely there. It's like vertically half of it is off, so there's not much to really open. And past it, you can see what looks to be a small living space. As per, you can even like see straight into the kitchen, where you can see the familiar figure of the dwarven zombie, the Dwambi woman, washing away at the partially there plate. There is another figure in the room, and this dwarf man seems to be currently reclining on the moldy remnants of a chair and reading some sort of paper. And they make a motion as if to turn the page, but they don't actually turn the page.
Just out of curiosity, Lee, are these still like ye old, merry old fake England houses, or are they like modern houses?
Define modern.
Modern Redthrone.
Like,
Contemporary
not even modern
to...
Redthrone. Yeah, contemporary.
I would say it is a little ye old little cottage. There's not much complexity to the area, or much less any of the commodified, the naturalized magic technology, I guess you could call it, that Redthrone that is so proliferate whatever in Redthrone.
So you'd say it's dated.
It's definitely dated. These are very old structures. And
They're old. Old as balls.
old as balls.
Old as balls.
Accurate. Yeah. Accurate.
Okay.
How old? Like hundreds of years, or
Hundreds of years.
So they're contemporary to the zombies that are in there. They fit. They fit in basically, in this house.
Yes.
Why? They. They're not doing anything. It's just they're tending to be alive. And Morty comes up to the guy, the person sitting with the paper. They're not
Chaz is just
here.
gonna grab Morty's
What?
hand and pull him back.
What? They're not moving. Well,
Morty,
they're not responding.
their will is being suppressed. You have had the stone plague.
Yeah, but I only don't really want
Do
to.
not no touchy.
I was gonna touch him.
No touchy.
I'm gonna touch him. I'm just gonna quietly freak
No
out in his
lickies,
direction.
No bitey.
When have I licked
No
things?
things in your...
You put your gun in your mouth last week.
It was dirty.
Morty, this whole situation with you and the wanting to go to the mines is because you licked a rock.
I did not lick a rock. I stuck my bloody hand on my wound. That's entirely different.
Morty,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Thank you. Vic's gonna pat him on the cheek gently.
Oh, condescending.
Oh, fuck off! Seriously? Okay.
What?
Vic. While you guys are sort of like bantering with each other in the main room, you feel a presence right behind you.
Creepy.
Does it feel like
And-
Shia
No. Would you like to look behind you?
Yes!
That's never a good
Look
thing in
behind
horror
you.
stories.
And it's the Dwombi woman.
Ah!
Whoa.
And she's a little in your face, and she's leaning towards you almost conspiratorially, with her face still plastered the way she is.
Okay.
And she puts a hand to her lips.
Oh shit.
And then she turns back, going back to the kitchen.
Oh my god.
Is it because
Vic?
I swore?
Vic? Are you...
Yeah.
What did she do?
I'm shitting myself right now. What do you need?
Did we follow her?
She's just gone back to the kitchen. Vic's, against my better judgment, Vic is going to make a decision. He's going to walk up to her and like stand beside her at the sink.
Mm-hmm.
Say, is there something that you need to tell us or that we need to do?
Croaky, dry voice comes out. And with the same plastered smile, she turns to you. She's sleeping. And she puts the hand back up to her lips.
Oh.
And goes back to washing.
We'll try to keep it down, he says. And he's going to turn around to the others and just make this face.
Is there an upstairs area or another area of the house?
There is another area of the house, a very short hallway, just a little tucked away. And down that hallway, there are about 2 doors.
Chaz is readying like a firebolt, but she's actually now going to check to see if these 2 people have a baby zombie child.
Oh, gee. And the appropriate deity.
To the 2 doors you see at the end of the hallway, one of them is open and the other is closed.
I'm just going to stick my head in and have a look in the open room.
In the open room, you note that the open room is actually exactly an open room. A good chunk of the wall is missing. It's currently like fallen down and it's open to the elements. There is the remnants of a 4-poster bed, a double-sized bed, with no sheets, no cot, just literally just a bed frame, and that's about it. The rest of the room is unremarkable. A smashed-up dresser at one corner, but it's sort of tilted into where the foundations have fallen off and the rest of the walls as well.
Chaz is going to go back into the hallway and use thaumaturgy to open the other door. Now, it won't open the door if the door is locked, which is part of what she's checking.
The door is open. Sorry, the door is unlocked.
So it just swings open.
It does swing a little open.
She really hopes that no one actually watched to do that, because like with the mental state of the other party members, her opening a door without touching it might make them jump out of their skin. She's just gonna have a look, walk down to the other door and have a look inside that room.
The room is dimmed at the moment. There seems to be, it's the only room you can assume in this house that has 4 whole walls in it. There's a window at the end of one, and it's currently drawn. The curtains are currently drawn. And before you do sort of peek your head in, your ears pick up a soft humming sound, almost like a lullaby.
Chaz has dark vision, so if it's a dim room, she'll be able to see like daylight.
Let's see, yeah. Your ears do the first thing you do notice, because before you focus on what's inside the room, is the hum of a soft lullaby. And as soon as you focus your eyes in, the lullaby sort of like softly sort of disappears. Inside the room, you see what looks like a very small bed, fit for a child. And there is currently, looks like a form curled up, tucked in bed, and tucked in the bed. There are a lot of toys strewn around, and you can see they were toys at some point. There's a very torn pieces of little rag dolls, little building blocks of sorts, the kind of toys you would associate with a child at this point. And it's sort of like it's a mess in the room of toys, as per for a child's room.
Jazz isn't going in the room, but how does it smell? Does it smell like decay or?
It smells like decay. It smells like mold. It smells like must and
Like fresh, bad term, but fresh decay or decay that's been sitting around for centuries?
decay that's been sitting around for centuries.
Okay. And has the lullaby stopped?
Yes, the lullaby has stopped. Oh shit! Right. Sorry. Do I need to? No, you know what? Fuck it. I can't be bothered. The things that pop out to you though is that there are a few toys in there that look a lot less old. In fact, they look very new, as if finally freshly crafted this year. Across from the bed, there's a little dresser, like a toy box, where there's a couple of outfits laid out. And these outfits do not look as fallen apart or anything. These outfits look recently tailored. Like, I don't mean recent in the like last days, but it doesn't look as gross or moldy, or it doesn't exactly match the aged, rustic appearance of the rest of the environment you're in.
Doesn't fit the aesthetic.
Just need to have a look at Chaz's spell list again.
Okay, just to clarify, this is only Chaz who can see this. We're also in the living room.
Unless you guys have decided to peek in and find out where Chaz has gone.
Not yet, I don't think. Why is Tom wiping that plate? That's all I can think of right now.
Stop wiping that plate! Oh no, Tom! Tom, why are you wiping the plate? Are you stuck too?
Chaz is going to use thaumaturgy again, and it's going to be right next to Vic's ear. Just so, like, she's using thaumaturgy to throw her voice so whatever is in the room can't hear her. Could you come here, please?
Was that?
Vic is gonna nearly fart in surprise. He's just like, okay, we'll come there. I'm going to go to Chaz now. You guys can do it. He's speaking very softly because he's like, I don't want creepy mama to come and stick her bony finger up my nose. So,
Okay.
it's like, I'm gonna go see Chaz now. Does anybody else want to come with?
I'm gonna come with, I'm just gonna drag everybody else with me. Can someone hold my hand as well? Okay, I'm gonna drag Vistra in with me.
Yeah, okay.
Kidra will also like to hold a hand.
Kidra wanted to hold Morty's hand, but
Let's all hold hands! Because we're all just traveling, like... But frankly, Morty's like frightened as fuck. Oh, so he's like,
Oh.
the fuck.
Well, Kia
Vix-
is creeped out as well.
Yeah, Vic's gonna go. Vic is reminded abruptly of when he and Kedra were faced with ghost children.
Yes.
So he's gonna head over to Chaz, just be like, "So what's up?"
Chaz is
He's
gonna
gonna
like,
look in. He's
gesture
gonna look in the room.
into the room.
He has
She's
dark
like,
vision too.
there was a lullaby and now it's stopped.
Can't see a damn thing.
What was the lullaby? Do you remember what it sounded like?
It sounded like a lullaby. I don't know.
Is there anyone in here? Is it bad? I can't see a damn thing. Might be a good thing.
Kedra, my darling, beautiful battering ram of a person.
Yes.
Would you mind backing me up in this? I'm going to go and see if the little girl is awake.
Is little girl in here?
Child, just hang behind me so if I die, you can use my corpse to hit her or something.
Sure. She's going to pull out her warhammer.
Okay.
Chaz
Alright.
is putting herself in a defensive position in the hallway to protect from the other two corpses. If
Okay.
Better safe than sorry.
Okay, I have no idea what you're aiming out there, but I can see outside. I'll be beside Chaz going, okay, bring his gun out. I don't know what you guys are doing, but good luck.
Vic isn't going to draw any of his weapons, but he is going to step into the room.
Lee, just as a note, it's only dim light inside of the room. In the hallway, Morty can still see, yes?
Yeah, Morty can still see out there because the light's spilling in. It's just that it seems like this room was deliberately darkened to facilitate sleep for the child.
Vic's going to step into the room and just say in like as calm a voice as he can, "I'm sorry, sweetheart, did we wake you up?"
You hear a soft groan. And the child shifts in her sleep. And you see her form sort of turn in her bed, and she looks back at you. Jarringly enough, she seems almost normal. There is a gauntness to her face. But past it, she is quite, well, fully fleshed. And she looks at you with, like, hazy eyes. And she softly whispers, not exactly recognizing who you are. She goes, Is it playtime again?
Not just yet. We came here to see your parents. We didn't mean to wake you up, so you should go back to sleep for a little bit until it's playtime again.
They're outside.
I just wanted to apologize because they were worried we were going to wake you up, and it looks like we did. So we will head back out, and you should get some more sleep, okay?
You see her get up. Like, not get up, sorry, like, just sort of sit up in her bed. And she's currently wearing a sort of like a little sleeping gown. And it looks clean. Much cleaner than the rest of her room. And now that you're completely in the room as well, in front of her, you notice her sheets, her cot, they are all fresh and new. And she sort of rubs at her eyes and goes, I'm awake now and I want to play. And she's sort of like not exactly awake. So she's sort of like half closed eyes. In case she remembers to open them, but she closes them again. And she's just rubbing at her eyes.
Is there anything in the room that looks like a music box that could possibly have been playing the lullaby?
No.
Vic's gonna do his best to think quickly. He's gonna be like, well, before you play, you have to get changed. So how about You leave the room so you can get changed. And we'll go talk to your parents while you get ready, okay?
Okay. She sort of nods softly. And she sort of like pulls away the covers and her feet dangles off the edge of the cot before getting out. And she almost looks like a normal child.
Lee,
But for the continence, yeah.
I just rolled a 19 to find out. Well, 20 not natural to find out what she is.
There is a coldness to her. There is a very tangible lack of warmth, a lack of life that you can detect from her. So she is definitely some form of undead. But
Is she... Oh, gosh. I just need to check to see if... Like, because it really depends on what she is, if charm person will work on her or suggestion will work on her.
I can double check though.
I don't think charm person works on undead.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering about suggestion.
I'll do a Google.
It just says creature I can see within a range that can hear and understand. But creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect, so it really depends on whether she can be charmed or not.
I can't quite... Okay, hold on, sorry. I'm just double checking the lore behind this. Hold on. Okay, cool. Ugh. I can't see, so I'm gonna say yeah. Alright, executive decision I can't figure out, so, you may certainly try whatever you want.
Alright. Well, I want to, again, thaumaturgy because it's a cantrip, but right next to her ear, I'm casting suggestion, and she needs to survive a wisdom saving throw. She needs to be a 14.
Okay, this seems the right thing to use. Just.
Oh, gosh. Alright, well, Chaz is going to say with thaumaturgy right in her ear anyway. Why don't you go back to sleep?
I don't want to go sleep. I've been sleeping a lot. I want to play with the rock boars. And so she gets up to her feet. And she sort of goes to the little dresser full of little outfits for her. And she kind of just like looks at each of them.
Vic's got an idea. He's going to, and she's like, she goes over to the dresser. This is a dwarven child, yeah?
Yes, so tinier than tiny.
So he's going to like,
Oh gosh, she's so
down
cute.
next to her and be like, well, why don't you choose an outfit that's really good for hide and seek?
Why would I want to play hide and seek?
Because I have a feeling that you're really good at hide and seek. And so if you hide really well, we can try to find you.
You see her sort of think about this for a moment, and then she looks back up at you. I don't. You're not supposed to talk to me.
Oh no. He's waking up.
Okay. Vic nods and he says, "We're not supposed to, but you're a lot of fun."
Are you a new toy?
Yeah, I am. The people who are here with me, they brought me here for you to play with. They've
I'd
got
like
to
you
go back.
Mhm.
He's like, they've got to go back soon, but they can leave me here to play with you.
Kidga just puts her hand on Vic's shoulder, like,
I'd like you to roll first a deception.
That's all you hear from Morty, basically.
15?
this warrants stress eating.
But you're not supposed to leave. The toys are supposed to stay.
I'm the toy. They're delivering me to you.
She shakes her head more vigorously. They're supposed to stay. Everyone who comes here has to stay. And her voice starts to get a little bit louder. They're supposed to stay. You told me they'd stay.
Okay, sweetheart. Nobody's going to leave. Nobody's leaving.
And she kind of lunges for you a little. Sort of startles you. But she grips
Chaz
at...
has got mage hand on the
Uh-huh.
back of Vic's cloak, pulling him back.
So Vic's gonna fall flat on his ass.
As you fall flat in your ass, the small child falls forward with you and grips at your poncho. I don't want you to leave. No one's supposed to leave. She told me I wasn't gonna leave.
And Vic's just like, okay, and against all instinct screaming at him right now, he's gonna give her a hug.
You're pretty sure she's crying. She is making all the proper motions for crying. But you do sort of note there's no tears coming out.
Sorry. With this outburst, Morty sort of wants to take a peek out at the living room, see if something's changed there, or if we alerted anyone.
Yeah. Chaz?
I'm still downstairs.
Oh,
so
okay.
I would
There's no stairs.
Okay.
It's just like a hallway.
Yeah.
It's just a hallway. So, Glenn, Chaz, Morty, those of you keeping an eye on the outside, you note that both the parents have stopped in their loop, and they're currently inhumanly turned their heads towards the direction of the child.
Glenn, get back here now.
I don't have an ear clasp on, if that's what you're suggesting.
Whispering towards his direction anyway, across the corridor. Glenn, come here now.
Have they just turned towards me, or are they actually making a move?
They're not turned towards you. They're turned towards they're exactly doing what they were, which was like sitting, sitting or standing, whatever they were doing. But like literally, their heads have turned to look towards the child. A little extremely in some cases, because the mother, though her body facing forward, her head is facing the child. Well, where the child would be.
I'm just going, not taking my eyes off them. I'm just going to wave down the hallway to Morty. Stay calm.
I haven't been calm since we stepped in here.
Oh shit! Right. Also, Morty, I'd like you to roll a d20.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, fuck you!
Mm.
Well, it's not
What's
bad. I rolled a 2. It's not a 1. It's a 2. There's a difference.
You have an overwhelming urge to stay and not leave. Don't leave.
Oh. Can I recognize it? Or it's just...
You feel, for a split second, you recognize the urge before you
Oh.
were kind of overwhelmed with it, and you now have a compulsion to stay with the small child.
Well, then Morty's just gonna come into the room suddenly and just sit down on the floor. Saying, it's all good. We're none of us are leaving. It's okay. We're staying. We're staying.
Vic's just looking at Morty like,
So is Kidga.
Gonna stay.
Chaz has seen what happened to Morty, and her brain is taking over, and she's gone shit very, very quietly. Because she's extrapolating. Vic,
yes.
when I said to go into the room, I didn't mean wake up the child, first of all. Second
She
of
was
all,
already awake.
that kid is the focal point, keeping all of these undead in check.
I figured. That's why I don't want her to get upset, because she could bring
No,
all of them down on top of us.
And if she dies, they're all coming down on top of us anyway.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to stop her from being upset. Give me a minute. Vic's gonna like go, all right, up we get, and he's gonna get up as much as he can while still holding onto this kid and be like, okay.
She feels
We're
like
gonna
a
choose
kid,
that-
so.
Yeah, he's holding onto her with one arm, and he's like, we're gonna choose out some clothes, and you're gonna tell me what outfits you like the best, and we're gonna choose from there, okay?
You see yourself like rubbing, like almost like something like cars hit her eyes. Okay, just really, I don't want anyone to leave anymore.
It's okay, honey, we're not gonna leave.
I
How
don't
about-
want to be alone. I don't want to be alone.
Okay. Alright, how about we have a look at your outfits while my friends head back out to talk to your parents real quick, okay?
They're not allowed to leave.
They're not gonna leave, they're just going into the kitchen.
That's okay. I can stay here.
Okay, please stay.
Staying right here.
And Vic's just looking at kids and I just like, go into the kitchen, see if there's a way out. But he's asking it like with his face because he can't ask it with his mouth.
How do you say exit with your face?
How is Vic holding the child?
He's got her on his hip. So he's got an arm underneath her legs.
I know you're looking at her then. She sort of like has her hands sort of like gripping parts of your poncho.
Yeah, I figured she would.
Just to sort of further describe the child, she has very long silver hair, like silvery, like really light blonde. And she has what looks like once upon a time were freckles on her face, but a lot of it's sort of like disappeared from the gauntness of her expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, honey.
And she's sort of like holding on to you, and sort of she seems a bit calmed down now, and a lot of her hands, like one of her hands, sort of like idly goes towards your face and starts like pinching and holding it.
He's
Oh
like,
my god.
excuse me.
You're smoother than the other toys.
I'm newer than the other toys.
Oh my god. This is all sorts of fucked up. Holy fuck.
And
Oh,
and she sort of like pulls at your hair a little.
help
She goes,
me.
"It's almost like mine."
Almost, yeah. Yours is nicer color than mine, though.
I wanted. Don't leave me, okay? No, I
It's
don't.
okay. I'm not going anywhere.
Like, Morty sort of trying to break off it, like, so, what's your name? What do we call you then? What's your name?
My name is Ural. Ural Brightforge.
That's a lovely name.
Very cool name.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ural. So, Ural, you remember, what were you gonna be when you grew up? Like, Morty's very, very distracted, but trying to ask a question.
Good egg.
Grow up. I wanted to be a cleric, like my dad.
Oh, your dad's a cleric. I knew a cleric once. They have to read a lot of books about the god that they're clericking for.
You see her furrow her brows a bit. No.
What's this?
Siri has encountered a
Siri.
One of the dolls makes a noise.
What the fuck?
Beep beep.
The fuck is wrong with your iPad? Cripes.
No idea. I don't know what I said that made it think. No, okay. You see her furrow her brows a bit. He goes, Dad was always awake because he had to take care of everyone. So he wasn't home a lot. But now he is. He's always home now. He's always there.
So he's not clericking for... What's the name of your god that you're clericking for?
And with a bright voice, she's just Verona True Silver.
Wow. That's a great god to cleric for. That's a great god to cleric for. So
she's the mother of safety, and she's really good because she takes care of healers and teachers and take care of health and defenders and yeah.
wow, you know your stuff really, really well. Just
Mama said I was always a clever cookie. That's why she had Uncle Ordo take me on as an apprentice, because I was gonna grow up and be smart and use magic and help people like that.
that's...
Have you seen Uncle Ordo lately?
You can visibly feel her stiffen against you. He wanted me. He was here earlier and he wanted me to stop making new friends and toys. And he said it wasn't right anymore and that somebody else was making me do it, but it's me. I'm the one doing it. But he told me it was a bad thing and it was hurting people elsewhere, but they wouldn't be hurting if they were here with me. And he said I was being unreasonable and that I should be smarter, but I am smart. And I told him he was stupid.
baby.
And I told him to leave. I told him to leave because he was being mean. And then he left me.
You didn't really want him to leave, did you?
everyone stays. But you left.
No, we're staying, and we're staying. We're staying right here. I think I can leave if I wanted to, but
Nick just looks over at Morty like,
So, all this way you're making friends, how did you learn that? Is that from clericking or?
Ordo said I got really, really sick, and then I went into a really, really long sleep, and then he woke me up, and then when I woke up, I had all this magic, and he told me it was because I was a very good student,
Ah,
and I brought everyone back, so they could come back and keep being here and with me, so that every time Ordo is here, he can also be, you know, do what he does, and and
and help you.
and and help. Yeah.
Does she look like she's had stone plague? Like the crunchy, stony skin. It's ooh Jesus, Osiris. Shit.
Crunchy.
it's a butt.
It's a butt.
What are you
Cat
doing
butt.
there? Huh?
Heck off.
Yes. Hello. What?
Meow.
No, cause you were making crying sounds.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's true.
Yes. Hello. Am I crying again? Dork. Anyway. She doesn't seem to see. You can't see any visible symptoms of stone plague.
How did she sick? What's sick? What? So
You remember?
Yeah.
Remember, she's old. Old as balls. She died a
See
long
your
time
tingling
ago.
eyes see.
how sick? Drew, just when you went before you went to sleep for a long time and wake up with all these powers. Do you remember anything when you were asleep? Like a dream or anything?
A really pretty lady came to me before I woke up.
Pretty lady. Huh.
She was really pretty.
Was she?
But she had
Oh,
she had long black hair, and she kind of had, and she looks at Vic, kind of like these, and she sort of like pokes at your ear a bit.
He makes his ear wiggle a little bit.
she gives a little giggle.
ah. Did she say her name?
Her name was Shoo.
Who?
She shown it only had one syllable.
And it starts with sh, right? The sh sound.
Yeah, I think it was she. No, share. No.
Do you
I got you,
believe
babe.
in love after love?
At this
You know what?
point,
Okay, yes, I think it was share. It's
share. Cue Morty sort of staring at Vic, going, "What?
Vic's just gonna be like, "Hey Morty,
Yeah."
how about go ask your friend Glenn about Ural's friend while we pick out an outfit because you have terrible fashion sense. He isn't very good at picking out outfits. He's not got a good eye for it."
She frowns. Oh, and she looks square at you, Morty.
Hi.
Go away.
don't.
Need you to be able to get the information to them.
Okay.
And then you have the compulsion to leave the room.
Okay. I'm going right now. Going now. Bye.
And
Piss bolts.
Ural turns. Ural turns to you, Vic. To you, Vic, and then she asks very quietly, "What's a fashion sense?"
A fashion sense. It means being able to put together an outfit that doesn't look like you got dressed in the dark.
Newsflash: you are getting dressed in the dark right now.
No, they're getting dressed in the dim. Vic's fine.
So why don't you choose your favorite outfit, and I'll help you get dressed, okay?
Okay. Oh, I want that one. And she points to one of the outfits. It's got a little, like a large collar that kind of covers around her shoulders, and does a little, like a. Is it called A-line? Is that the right thing?
Yeah,
It puffs out like a little.
Yeah.
Is that it? It
How
puffs out a bit,
much
yeah.
does it puff
A-line
out?
puffs out at the bottom.
How much does it puff out?
It looks
Is it
like
an
it's
A-line
meant.
or a full circle? Like,
Oh, I think actually no, it's a full circle. It's a full circle because it's meant to have a petticoat underneath.
yeah, it'll be a circle then.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, so let's see if we can find what goes underneath it, and then we will get you dressed. Ready?
Okay.
Good job.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Fucking running out that
Morty's
door.
having a heart attack.
Okay.
You find yourself outside the door.
Okay. Glenn, anyone who knows religion. Okay, mind you, this is still relatively hushed because mom and dad are still there. Okay, religion. Do we know anybody with long hair with pointy ears? That's not Vic.
Wait, have you come up to me?
Yes.
With this?
Sort of like, tell me.
Okay.
He says, staring at Glenn.
All right.
Long hair,
So
ears.
He has grabbed me like that. Okay. Just
Frightened.
I'm still trying to just with the parents.
Kidra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kidra is going to step slowly away towards the door, hearing this, and be like, Goddess, long black hair,
Yeah.
pointy ears,
Yeah.
name beginning with sh,
Yeah.
one syllable. Does that ring any bells?
Does it ring anybody's bells?
Vistra
Oh,
sort of
religion
from
check.
the hallway and sounds like Cher. Do you believe in love after love?
I could feel something inside.
Well,
Thanks for
okay.
stealing my joke, guys.
Oh God, no.
Unfortunately, I've only really made a 9 on religion check.
Uh,
Can anybody roll to assist him?
I,
That isn't me.
I just rolled a 3, so not much help.
The annoying thing is, I've
Why
googled
don't you-
what it is. I've googled what it is as well, but
Glenn needs to. Glenn has no magic Google.
Cade, why can't Vic also check since he's heard this?
But
Because he's not in the room with them? Oh, wait, I can still...
You heard this.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly
You
whispered
are-
to Trin,
You
it was
are
just
holding, yes.
ear
holding-
clasp.
literally holding the information source.
And Kidra is not out of the room exactly because she doesn't want to upset the little girl.
16.
And I have googled things, however I know homebrew might be involved. So I am... But the basic gist of it is...
Okay, those of who rolled a 15 and above.
Fuck 3. Nope. Well, 3 plus 1, 4. So nope.
I'm gonna DM whisper this.
Okay.
Oh no.
Why are you cackling?
Why are you cackling?
I am DM whispering cave.
What the fuck?
Vic has this music in his head. Do you believe in life? So Vic is going to. He's like helping this little girl get dressed. He's helping her get the petticoat on and like get the dress on over the top and pop her collar up like a proper little vampire princess. And he's going to ask her conversationally so everybody with an ear clasp can hear. It's going to be like, so the lady you dreamed about, was her name maybe Shah by chance?
You see her sort of whip around and turn like, that's it. You're right. That's it. I thought it was Cher.
To be fair, I think she thinks she was Cher too for a while. That's really cool. Did she say anything to you?
She said she wanted help. And that apparently
What?
Uncle Ordo was gonna help me help her. So
Oh.
and I don't know why, but when I woke up after that, Uncle Ordo was really happy, and I was really happy to see him too, because I hadn't seen anyone for a long time. And he was there, and he said he wanted to do anything to make me happy. So I told him what I wanted to happen, and that I had a lady friend who was telling me what needed to happen. And I told him, and he said he'd do it. But then, and you see your sort of face start to sort of like look a little bit crumpled and crestfallen. He started feeling really bad about it after a while, and he made me feel like I was bad for telling him. And then he told me not to listen to Shar anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to. Shar's be really nice. She always sings me to sleep, and she helps me comb my hair, and she's never left me, and she's always here. But you see her sort of like start to heave a little.
Oh boy.
It's okay. It's okay. Is she somewhere where we can talk to her, or does she only talk to you?
She's sometimes here, but then sometimes she says she has to go away and take care of some bad dogs.
Oh. Sometimes dogs can be bad. Hey, I have a cat you could meet if you would like to meet a cat.
If a cat could shake his head vigorously at you, he is doing it right now.
And Vic's just looking over at him because he's out by the doorway. Vic's just looking at him and raises an eyebrow.
He was like licking his paws, and then like when you call him up over, he's like, like. So, are you calling a cat over?
Yes.
Okay. A cat very reluctantly slinks into the room. And hold on. Okay. He does it with absolute quietness.
Suddenly a cat.
Like, he just sort of like sidles up to you stealthily. And sort of like looks like from behind your leg up at the at Euro.
Yeah, Vic's kind of like got his hands half in a petticoat trying to help her rearrange it so that it actually sits right. And he's just like, this is a cat. He doesn't talk much, but he likes to have his ears scratched.
He's a really big cat. Can I keep him?
Well,
You see a cat literally do a.
Oh no.
this cat is my cat, but maybe we can find you a cat of your own. Would you like that?
But I want this cat.
This cat farts a lot, and he's generally pretty stinky.
Congratulations, Vic, you played yourself.
Can't I just make him not fart?
No, he farts all the time. It's his general state of being.
Okay.
But you can play with us. We'll be your friends.
I know what I want to play, and she sort of like darts off.
Has she even got shoes on yet? Because Vic was like attempting to help her get dressed.
Nope. Nope. All that's left behind.
Baby.
She darts off and she opens one of her little toy boxes in the corner, and she starts whipping out these things, and it's a very tiny tea set. Very, very tiny, because it is now dwarf child sized.
Oh,
and
bless.
she whips it out, and she like drags one of the stools over and puts the little tea tray and puts it in front of a cat who's like, yes.
The guy is standing in the door watching this like
Low rumble of disapproval.
He just goes, wait a second, I have something that can help. And goes over, because he dumped his pack like in the hallway.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go get his water skin from that and bring it back and be like, tea, my lady.
Yes, thank you. I love some tea. And she like sort of like daintily puts out a cup with a little pinky out.
He's gonna like pour the water into the cup, because he figured that any water she has access to is gonna be stank, and it's probably gonna make people sick. So he's like, and for you, sir, to a cat. Cat's just like,
Alright. Hold on, I need to check something.
oh god, okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, whoops. Cool.
Oh, by the way, the
Also,
entire.
I would like everybody to know that during this entire thing, Vic is shitting himself.
Yeah, the entire explanation of what you just revealed via Ural was explained to Glenn.
Bluetooth.
The entire conversation was done like this, like punctuated with,
Heavy breathing.
why is the Lady of Loss involved in this shit?
Oh, so this is you explaining to me what's up there.
This is Glenn. This is Glenn's shirt.
Okay.
Fuck.
No.
Fuck.
Okay.
Very
put my
quietly.
hands on his head, just to hold him. Okay.
Fuck.
Do we want her to put it? Do we want her to go back to sleep?
Don't. Oh. We should.
I already tried that. Chaz
Sorry.
says hopefully.
Cade,
You
Yes.
tried.
when did Vic fill that water?
Last time they were hanging out at the inn.
Which would have gotten it from. Okay.
I'm just gonna say in the ear class, Big, I could possibly get her to go back to sleep if you want.
You're basically whispering in my ear. Thank you. Okay. Like,
Well,
So intimate.
Give me a sec, Vic says. Why, what happens to the water?
As soon as it touches her lips, she spills it and pushes it forward, and she holds her mouth in shock.
Are you okay?
It's really hot. The water was hot.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Tea was
sweetheart.
really hot. And you can see little bits of steam rising from her lip. And she sort of like drops her hand a bit, and you can see just a flash of like some of the skin sort of peeling around her lip. And then she puts it back to her mouth.
Okay. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I didn't know it was going to be that hot. Is there anything I can do to help you?
She's a little bit on the verge of tears.
How about a hug? Will a hug help?
She nods while sort of like holding her mouth.
Vic's just going to go pick her up and give her a hug.
And she's sort of like hiccuping a little. Like,
He's just going to pat her back. Like, he's holding onto her with one hand and, like, rubbing her back with the other hand. Like, oh, shit, if I accidentally murder this murder child, I'm going to be in the shit.
Vic, what did you give her?
No.
What water?
Water I had in my water skin.
Where did you get it?
The inn we stayed at.
So we refilled all our water at that point. Like, Morty will bring his out. And takes a sip. None?
tastes like very water skinny water.
Looks at water skin. Looks at mum.
Tom, can't hear you.
Like, I see Morty's eyes do that. I do a quick connection, but
I'm just gonna hold it out then. Well, that's something we need to know. Okay, so don't give the undead child the clean water. Why does it hurt her? Okay, would we know?
Can I roll a
Yeah,
check?
yeah. Can we?
Go for it.
Yeah,
Nature. I'll call it nature check.
nature. Fuck. Well, nature says +1, so I got a 12. Yay.
And Vic got a.
20, not natural.
Okay.
Okay.
Got a +5.
Nice.
Exactly. Okay,
Or
you don't know this. Morty doesn't figure this out. Vic.
Okay.
Knowing that she is a tiny little vampire princess, one of the things that you know harm vampires is running water.
Had I collected this from an underground river, sort of, that came up into the inn, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's clean. Was it blessed? Muttering, Morty like staring at the bottle.
Now Vic's just going to rub her back for a bit and say, how about we get you some fairy tea? Will that make it feel better?
Mm-hmm.
So Vic's going to pick up one of the cups. He's going to like sit back down, sit her on the bed, and like pick up one of the empty cups and be like, okay, are you ready for this?
Mm-mm.
He's going to pick up the cup and turn it upside down so she can see there's nothing in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to be like, I'm going to make you some invisible fairy tea right now.
You see her eyes sort of widen and sparkle a little. Like, how does that work?
Okay, so this is how it works. And he hands her the little mug.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes his water skin and puts a little bit, just a drop in his palm and rubs his hands together.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes like this. Into his hands.
Yeah.
And then makes it look like he's emptying his hands over the cup. He's like, wait. Okay, invisible fairy tea. You got to drink it quick though, because otherwise it stops working.
Okay. It's actually like pretty much like hungrily goes for it, and
It's just air.
it's like, but she's game for it. She makes little slurping noises, and she puts down her little dainty cup, the dainty pinky out, and puts it back down.
She's like, you drank all that so quickly. What a good job.
And she gives like a beaming smile.
And he does make sure his hands are dry before he goes to move her again. He's like, how about we go outside and say hi to the others, and you can tell us maybe where we can find your friend, because if she's your friend, we want her to be our friend.
You hear in the distance soft rumbling as though the approach of something in great numbers.
Can everyone hear this?
Yes, everyone can. And so can the vampire princess. And you see her head snap towards the direction of the exit.
What happened?
All of the Dwombies seem at alert now.
Oh.
And even the dad reading the newspaper has now stood up and looked in the direction of the outside. And you feel sorry, Vic, you feel where you've placed the flail of slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
It feels warm.
All the terrible fucking times that they could have got this shit together. You'd had to be now.
And you hear the little vampire princess mutter softly, but since you're close enough to hear, it's the bad dogs again.
Fuck.
And that's where I'll end
They
the
do-
session.
Fuck.
Rude!
Fuck.